Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Console Gaming League Apex Qualifier in conjunction with 301. Today, our team's competing in a kill race, trying to qualify for their chance at a $2,000 prize pool. The first of a number of qualifiers. I'm Corbec, joined here in the casting booth by by Llama with the lovely Donut on production, keeping us going and pushing forward today through the rest of this kill race. And how are you feeling today, Llama?
I am feeling good, hyped about getting to see some awesome gameplay, awesome teams like we've seen before. This is a huge qualifier for teams to try and get into the $1,000 Invitational coming up, and we will have I believe the second qualifier next Sunday, the 19th, so make sure to stop by for that one. This one is brought to you by 301, so a big thanks to them for sponsoring this prize pool.
Indeed, yeah, big thanks to 301 for coming through on the prize pool, helping us put this together. So you can find all sorts of information about them in our chat, I believe. But today, kill race, standard stuff, placements count for points, kills count for points, damage counts for points, and teams have a 3-hour period split into 2 hour-and-a-half halves to try and put as many points as they can on the board. So pretty straightforward stuff here as we get our initial view of our first 4 teams, and looking like relatively decent starts for most of them, except down there in the bottom left corner, maybe a little rough.
Looks like top right too. We see Afterlife Gaming did lose
sure
one,
enough. Just noticed
and they're starting out with the caustic comp, so we'll see how that actually works out for them. Adola in our top left corner still has all their members up with 1 Evo, and everyone's got decent shield, not the best spot, but everyone pretty much early game. And in the bottom left, actually, they're in a lot of trouble. Oh boy,
yeah, it will be an elimination early on. That's not good. Not a good way to start the day.
They did walk away with 5 kills though, so not worse for a quick match, but
that is true.
The best.
Yeah, getting kills there, I mean, it's still beneficial to get kills, though. Obviously, you don't want to get bounced out too early on, right? Placement still a little bit valuable. In the bottom left-hand corner, that is our 301 squad, so repping the sponsors, as it were there. Kamikaze Neophytes taking that top right, or bottom right slot, and then top right will be Afterlife Gaming. Top left, Adola. These are some of our teams. Of course, we could be switching them around as things progress here. You see the shots coming in there on the top right-hand corner. That Caustic still kind of trapped here in runoff. Not a particularly great, or the slums, I should say, not a particularly great place to be in, and a pretty slow pace of game for a kill race.
Definitely, and the caustic, an interesting choice. We've seen it work like very little. We saw, I think, 1 maybe win in like all of our Apex tournaments. So it's not really an aggressive character, I think. But Adola on the top left definitely getting themselves into good fights and winning some here early.
Yeah, no, and again, the caustic, I mean, seems to be kind of holding out strong here. Looks like he might pick up another kill. He's got another team coming in who seem to be pushing him for some reason, but still, yeah, again, not exactly, a little counterintuitive, right, Llama, to the nature of the kill race. The race being the important part of that description. Usually we see teams kind of putting on a burst of speed, trying to cover a lot of distance and get a lot of kills. But interestingly enough, I mean, if we look across most of our team comps today, we're not seeing some of our usual players here on the big board. We've got 2 Bloodhounds, which is a little bit different. A Bangalore getting thrown in there on the bottom left-hand corner by 301. It's a bit different as well. You know, Pathfinder's still a pretty essential component. The one maybe constant in every team comp, and unsurprisingly so, remains Wraith. Still one of the strongest characters in the game, despite her recent changes, and quite possibly the most popular of the legends, if I had to say.
Definitely. By the way, I appreciate all the llama ups in chat. Thank you for that. Line definitely popular too, I'd have to say, but Wraith probably the staple, as we see all 4 of the teams on the big board trying to run this Wraith, which helps a lot with escaping and other stuff. And Adola, just top left corner, they're just getting kills here to start them off really good early. So looks like Caustic is still alive in the top right, and they're gonna revive, so they'll get back to full members. And it looks like 301 is in maybe a little bit of trouble again in the bottom. Actually, they'll finish the squad, so it's too bad for them. But there is more on the way. They gotta watch out, Corbec. They gotta watch out.
Yeah, indeed. It's a bit of a. I'm kind of impressed that this Caustic managed to hold out. I mean, the Wraith was there as well, but truth be told, so it was the two of them. And they actually managed to farm a not insignificant, I think, amount of kills, everything considered, considering they haven't actually left this area yet. So that's not bad on their end at all. Octane coming back in now gives them maybe a little bit more mobility, scouting power than they initially had. And the mobility of the jump pad being added into the mixture as well. I'm just taking a look across 11 squads left in the bottom right-hand corner, so still relatively early days there, relatively in the mid-game. Top left-hand corner, don't quite have a view of how many teams are left. There we go. 6 squads left in their match, 3 kills to the name of our main view here. So not a bad start at all as they kind of close down to that round. And then 14 squads left here in the top right-hand corner. You do, of course, see no kills for the Octane, but not surprising considering Octane got wiped right away. So
definitely. But I mean, the Octane really replacing the Pathfinder for them, giving them the jump pad, but it's an interesting choice to say the least. But no kills on him, and basically, like you said, everybody else in mid game. Adola maybe approaching their late game here with 3 kills on Lost in Ruins, so they're in a good position to maybe take a championship, to maybe take a few more kills here. So we're gonna see here what's gonna happen.
Obviously, coming out the gate and getting that first place, kind of your first match in, is a huge morale boost, right, for the confidence of the team pushing forward. You know, obviously it's a long haul, right? More of a marathon than a sprint. Everything considered, you've got the full 3-hour time period, got a lot of time to make some mistakes and also get some placements. But nothing to be said, or nothing bad to be said, I guess I should say, about getting some early momentum in there as you see Lifeline starting to rotate in that top level corner around the front of Bunker. Meanwhile, on the top right-hand side, kind of a weird situation going on there. They've rotated through Pit, and now they're getting caught out in the edge of the ring, and poor slow toxic Chungus there, Caustic, suffering a little bit under the weight of that, I must say. But it was good portal there by the Wraith, at least I think get them closer to the end. Now the jump pad coming down should give them the ability to clear a little bit more distance. Since they added that double jump to that llama, you really actually do get significantly more distance out of the jump pad, or at least that's how it feels these days.
Definitely, it's like not maybe a full replacement for the Pathfinder Ultimate, but you know, you can change direction so fast, you can't get shot off it super easy, and it gets you a decent amount of height too, so it can help you get out of really bad situations. But it looks like they're in a lot of trouble now, actually, with 1 down in Octane at like literally 1 health, trying to run away, trying to find some. Oh, and he gets, oh no, ouch.
I don't even know what hit him right there. That's quite odd, but something clipped him as somebody was gatekeeping on the edge of the ring there, and that will be an elimination for them. So that's an unfortunate kind of early exit from that match.
Yeah. I mean, both teams on our right get eliminated. 3 kills in the top right, and then 6 kills in the bottom right. Not the best, and it also looks like Adola in trouble too in the top left, and all they have is Selfrez. It looks like Selfrez in a dream, 2 people down, and that might be the end of it. And yep. Dang. Squad eliminated. So all of our teams on the big board just all super quick, but 10. Whew. Some kills to start it off.
Not an insignificant number. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna get kind of the mid-range kill count, you want to you know, stack up maybe a little bit in terms of placement as well, just for those points. But beggars can't be choosers in that situation, so getting knocked down there. Still, I mean, a bit of a rough start here. You see Beast of the Hunt activated on the bottom left-hand corner. That's Drowsy there with 301, trying to put in some work here, and I think they did a decent job there clearing out a squad. Got a fair number of kills to their name as they kind of enter the mid-game, maybe trying to make amends for their kind of abrupt exit that we saw on the last map, and this team coming straight at them up those zip lines, feeding them a little bit right there. Whoever that poor unfortunate soul was, Llama got a bit lit up on the top deck. Popping that as well, gets the pings in, so they've got a clear idea where the hostiles are there, and he's just going to chatter away with the 301 and actually close the distance so he can get in there with the Mastiff and really do the big damage there with everybody's new sort of shotgun du jour now that it's been replacing now it's replaced the Peacekeeper.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I don't think it's better than the Peacekeeper right now, but it's definitely very strong. You can hit 100 and super fast, and 3 of our teams jumping back in right now, which, I mean, they all died, but some of them got good kill points. And bottom left, really the only action right now is the other drop in. Bottom right looks like they are going to drop in maybe a little bit hotter and maybe try and get some kills. And both of our teams dropping in the top, and looks like bottom left they're getting themselves 301 into another fight. Just teams hearing this and pushing this from all over.
Yeah, so often this area, the kind of confluence of rivers outside bunkers, becomes a hot zone, as it were. A lot of teams more than happy to kind of jump into fights in this space, and a lot of looting to be done in this area as well. Just have a tendency to draw more teams in. I think to a certain extent it also gives a little bit maybe of an illusion of safety. There's a lot more cover here than perhaps at other points in the river valley, so you feel like the sight lines aren't as long. But I mean, we saw the ping go out there for 301, so they've got at least 3 hostiles in the immediate area, and that exchange of gunfire really not going the way of the of the Bloodhound there, who has to duck back into cover and pop the shield battery, which is, discretion, the better part of valor, as it were, Donut. So he'll load himself up there and keep on going.
Yeah, I mean, he literally had like 1 health. I don't know what it is. Like 3 different people already have gotten themselves to like 1 health. So he's gonna try and what a sneak! Oh, he tried to get the sneaky spot, and it didn't work out for him too well. Because there was a team in that house. Ugh.
Well, they get the revive quickly enough, so they'll get him back in. Meanwhile, the rest of our squad's kind of dropping in, and bottom right-hand corner there, the game for Kamikaze Neophytes going pretty fast. They're already down to 16 squads, and they just got the initial go-ahead there. Top left-hand corner, somebody executing the finisher. I believe that's Lost in the Ruins there, showing off a little bit on the early stage, and yeah, keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, thought they might have been on the same match for a second, but no, they aren't. They both landed in the same spot, but didn't actually get into the same match. That would be, we have seen it before, where teams cross paths with another team, and it happens, and you just gotta deal with it. It's a kill race. So
yeah, unfortunately, the best we can get until custom lobbies are kind of like fully a thing. We dream of this day. Not sure when exactly that'll happen. That's a good Bloodhound ping in the top left-hand corner. Maybe bails Lifeline out a little bit, but not enough. Lifeline turning their back and running around the corner and paying for that in fine style. Gets knocked. Does have the self-revive available should they choose to use it, but I think they're going to see if their team can wrap this one up. The Wraith and the Bloodhound trying to fight it out. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, unfortunately, I've got a little bit of a dip in stream quality for that particular stream, but it does look like they're aggressively shooting at some pixels. So
4 squads left.
Angry
like,
pixel on pixel action as they push up what I believe is the canyon, but could realistically be any other part of the map.
Top left, it looks like Madola is in a little bit of trouble, and Lifeline is actually going to have to use that self-revive, and it looks like their team, they get 1 down, Young gets 1 down, so Ruins is going to actually get the self-revive off, and has no health, though.
No, gonna pop the shield battery right quick here. Unfortunately, the sonar did ping him, and that's a good win on that gun battle, but not a lot left there. Just going in to try and confirm that out. Oh, can't quite do it. Maybe get around the shield, waiting for the teammate to come in. Oh, no. Disaster.
Oh,
you hate to see it.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, the greatest, but there. and it's only one, and that was a pretty long team fight, so costly battle for them to lose. Drunes almost clutched up there. If he would have been able to finish the down person, steal their shield, he might have been able to get it, but not enough, sadly, Corbec. Not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, obviously something you do have to take into consideration, right, is the length of engagements in the kill race. Ideally, you want to kind of mow through teams as quickly as possible, right? It's its own strategic beast in a lot of ways, and distinct from how the game is normally played. That's why you won't probably see a lot of people running your Caustics and your Watsons in here, right? No desire to really trap up. It surrenders too much momentum to the other team. So that's a critical aspect of this, is the ability to kind of move fast and take quick engagements. And you'll see the best teams, the teams that really succeed in these kill races, right, usually are the ones that kind of are able to just almost clinically end engagements before they even begin. And unfortunately not really the case there in the top left-hand corner. But, it was a bit rough at the beginning, and they did well to recover, so maybe it's one of these things they're just warming up to the task at hand.
Yeah, definitely, and I think one of their members was a little bit late, so might have not practiced too much this morning, so getting that warm-up games in will definitely probably help them in the later stages. And like you said, it's definitely about thinking about finishing the fight before you even enter it, either poking them out with snipers or doing something like that. The top right corner, they are in a fight after gaming, of course, but now they have 2 down, but they do have a Wraith Portal. Maybe can get a res off a Watson there, though. So 1 goes down with the Hemlock shots, I believe, so maybe not in the worst spot here. They still do have 2 down, and Wraith is getting very much shot at and chased. Can't you clutch up? Ouch.
We had there, unfortunately. Wraith trying to close that one out on their own, not really able to pull it off. Unfortunately, that does happen. And a 0 kill, kind of 15 place wipe, not particularly great for them. They regret that one, I think, truth be told.
Definitely. I mean, it was a definitely wide open fight, and they pushed a Watson with a gen up. So not the best to push, and they paid for it definitely in time, is what all these teams, the currency of this tournament is time, definitely, because the more time you have, the more kills you can get. So if you spend time getting a 0 kill game, that means you're giving more time to everybody else participating.
True. Yeah, not exactly what you don't really want to bottle it, do you, at that stage? But it happens, to the best of us sometimes. Definitely not saying that I'm the best of us. I wouldn't get any kills either. Truth be told. Bottom left-hand corner, it's a lot of smoky pixels now, and a championship coming out there for our 301 squad. So some victorious pixels, as it were. Good job there.
Madola top left is actually chasing a team, I believe. They already downed maybe 2 of them. They're a little bit in trouble, and like you say, in championship in the bottom left. We'll have to see.
Wow, that's a really strong game, actually. That's a first place in 29 kills. That is nothing to scoff at. It's been it was a kind of, I think, a rough start for 301, but that is definitely a solid match. That's the kind of thing that you want to see again and again, right? If you want to stand a chance of winning the qualifier.
Answer Ocean Pixel, we the 4 teams on screen are some of the top people we've seen before, and obviously we might be switching the screen around to see the top teams maybe in 20-30 minutes, but right now these are teams that have won or have done really well in the tournaments before.
Yeah, we will update the screens as our leaderboard kind of updates. Usually we're trying to move into kind of our top 4, our top 5 as things continue, but for now, still a wide open field here, all things considered. Buddha Gaming down there in the bottom right corner, that's Kamikaze. 3 kills to their name, 5 squads left in their match here as they're kind of transitioning through the River Valley, and not bad for them. Good positioning in general. That's the Pathfinder Lifeline Wraith combo, which honestly, if we had to say, Llama is getting close to, if not kind of on the mark for a lot of what we would consider maybe the kill race meta, as it were. Obviously, with Pathfinder's recent nerfs, he's no longer kind of the must-pick territory that he always was. But still viable, still useful in his own way. Still can make plays if the player is good enough and the cooldown management is there. And obviously, still the zipline ultimate, a quick charging, a fast movement ability. You can't discount it.
Definitely. I mean, I'm surprised we don't see more revenants in this tournament, because with the revenant ult, you get that extra 100 health, and it's such a huge attack power. But I guess more champions being prioritized over that instead of the revenant ultimate. I mean, a caustic instead of revenant is very, very interesting. And yes, no jibbies. That's be sad, but you're not the most aggressive character and biggest. So
I think we saw like one kill race where there was a lot of Gibraltar play, and then they just tapered off again. And that's, I think, not a necessary. Ooh, it's a nasty thing going down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Got caught out. Speaking of revenants, got caught out by that revenant ability right there, and suffered for it a little bit. Did the Pathfinder? That being said, really the ability to, or the situation, I should say, of not using his abilities for a significant amount of time should be familiar to Pathfinder mains at this stage. And he looks like he will pop a Revenant there and send him right back to the respawn beacon, as it were, or totem. Is it totem? I guess is what we call it.
And Dola top left, but I think they've swept 2 teams. Sorry. Yeah, looks like they swept 2 full teams there this place, and they're just still killing more, bleeding out more. Even tell how many they're killing, because deathboxes are just everywhere. And going into mid-game, I believe, for the other 2 teams, looks like we actually have 4 squads left for Kamikaze here in the bottom right. So this team's looking good here on the board for now.
Indeed. Watching this bottom right-hand corner, I do believe that they've still kind of in a bit of a prolonged engagement here with that Revenant squad. I think they might have polished them off, but they've got somebody else pushing in as well. You can see they're just trying to, I think, to close down on maybe a Soul Survivor or somebody else who is still in the area, kind of sweeping the building right now. But it looks like whoever they were shooting at is, no, they're still there. We'll jump over the edge of the cliff, and no totem to save them this time.
They get a kill, 3 squads left. Pretty close to end game here, so we'll see if maybe they can finish it out. What's going on? Other teams, we got 10 squads left for Adola and 16 squads left for Afterlife. And actually, as I say that, Kamikaze kind of in a little bit of trouble here. They did get the lifeline fully eliminated, so unless there's a mobile respawn beacon somewhere, they could be in trouble fighting this last squad if it's a full 3-man.
That went south quick there for them. Lifeline, I think, just got caught out on the high ground, immediately lasered down. And then Wraith on the ground floor was down as well. So you saw Pathfinder kind of commit there, trying to help the Wraith. And in that point in time, the Lifeline went down, and now Pathfinder goes down. So it leaves it all on the Wraith, who does have the red Evo shield, but still, I mean, 3 squads left. You don't want to be the Pathfinder that goes down right there. That is essentially you out of the game for all intents and purposes. Yep. And it looks like Wraith may be in a bit of trouble here as well, fleeing into the bunker there. Gonna get caught by the edge of the ring. Oh no, it stopped just the right spacing, but still now kind of backs to the wall, as it were, because they're trapped in this bunker here.
It looks like actually only 2 squads left, so it is this Wraith just versus probably a whole team by herself, because Pathfinder died, and 9 shots, but a pretty bad trade overall, and it looks like, yep, they're gonna just end.
Still a solid effort. We'll see how many kills they racked up there at the end. I mean, obviously the second place finish will net them some points as well, so not entirely in vain there. Second place, 13 kills. It's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst.
Definitely not. I mean,
definitely better than getting poked in the eye by a sharp stick.
Definitely. I mean, we see a couple other teams. We got in the top left, Adola, 7 squads left. We got Kamikaze, I believe 13 left, and in the bottom left, 301-8, I believe. So most teams still in their mid game here. I think Adola has the most kills on them right now from killing those 2, maybe 3 squads. So. And they're just going to keep on going here. as Kamikaze drops back in, it looks like, trying to get back in another match after that second place, maybe try and recoup their losses. Well, not really their losses. They're tiny mistakes from getting those two people down.
Indeed. Well, counter sonar is going out there. The duel of the bloodhounds in the bottom left-hand corner. One came out sonaring, the other one sonared almost immediately, and now they've got targets on the screen. Control of the high ground already established, though, in this particular situation, which is a huge advantage for these kind of gunfights. He's actually just going to push up aggressively into the other bloodhound, and Beast of the Hunt will do nothing for them in that particular circumstances. That self-revive shield is out. No luck to be had there, and bloodhound surrendering the resurrection shield to the other bloodhounds. So it's a circle of bloodhounds there.
Left, we see Adola take out a duo right there, just real quick, fast.
Yeah, Dola maybe starting, I think, to hit their stride a little bit here. Truth be told, 4 squads left. I think that's 5 or 6 kills on the dock there for Lost in Ruins. And we'll see now if they can close this one out again. I mean, they did put up, I think, a pretty relatively solid game on the backside of this. So if they can get another one, they'll be kind of cooking with gas and propelling themselves forward. Bottom left-hand corner again, the ping goes out. Bloodhound targets once more. Takes a couple of perspective shots, but then retreats back down the valley. Doesn't want to hang out there for too long.
And Adola just done another one as you're saying that.
There's another sonar coming out, and that is from Adola on that case. That's their bloodhound, I think, sending out that ping, and they might be on the hunt here the way that they're playing, and sure enough they get one down and they eliminate another squad. So that'll take a significant chunk there out of whoever they were chasing, and 3 squads left in that match, and a good 7 kills there on screen for Lost in Ruins. So not a bad game at all, everything considered, and it looks like they've got yet another target. The action just kind of feeding itself into Adola at this stage. They're barely having to move to get these engagements down low.
This is perfect for them. This is exactly their play style. They're getting free kills right here. Looks like 2 squads left. I think 8 on Lost in Ruins. This is just insane. If they take this win here, it'll be huge points. That could put them in a really good spot for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, we'll see what they can finish this strong. 2 squads left in their match. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, a pretty solid match there as well, coming out on behalf of 301, who are moving into their end game as well. 5 squads left in their game, but all eyes kind of on a top left-hand corner as we see Lost in the Ruins watching that ping go out, and don't think they got any joy out of it at all, though. So still no really idea where the last team is. And of course, this is one of the things that we kind of see happen from time to time in these kill races. You get to these kind of last team situations, and it does become a bit of a game of hide and seek. It depends a lot on the opponent and how confident they are. If they're a bit standoffish,
I mean,
teams can spend a significant amount of time wandering, and they might have found him, though, actually, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it has, but we've seen, like, solo Lifeline just hiding out for super long before, so it can't happen. And, like you said, it looks like they're going to push this last team, maybe try and get this victory here. And it looks like maybe 2. They're healing, but they only got blue, so this is a really good fight for them to take. Rush ult comes out, though. Get one down. So it is a 3v2 now, I think. Mirage dead. Can they get it? Looks like their 1 is low, though. Their Wraith is really low, so Rune's going to push up on the roof. Get some missed shots, though. He's got to push around the house and try and finish this fight off. Looks like actually 1 goes down from Young. It is a 3v1 now. Can they get this win? They should have it in the bag here. Oh, the Wraith goes down. There it is. Well done from Adola.
Yeah, a solid championship for them, to be sure, and we'll see how many kills they stacked up there on top of that first place placement. Another solid match coming out for them. 22 kills, not bad, not bad. Adding to the total there, making that Bloodhound work.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very good game. We saw 29 coming out from 301, so maybe they're a little bit behind them now. But definitely, if they can keep this consistency up from what we've seen, they're going to be in a good position. So now, as we look at our other teams here, it looks like 3 squads left in our bottom left with 301, and I believe 6 in the top right with Afterlife. And Afterlife also pushing. Actually, we're gatekeeping a team here outside the ring, and it looks like it worked basically perfectly for them, taking down Revenant and gonna go back. The Octane's gonna go back to heal this caustic Octane comp. Very, very interesting, if I would say so myself.
That's certainly an interesting choice indeed. You know, Sun Tzu once said, "All men see the tactics by which I conquer, but not everyone understands the strategy behind them." So maybe there's something deeper going on there with the Octane Caustic strat that we just not aware of. In this bottom left-hand corner, 301 Gaming, they've got 3 squads left in their match, and I believe 9 kills there for Drowsy. So they're coming towards the end here, and sure enough, they're going to just drop on and annihilate somebody. I'm not even sure that Pathfinder was in the game. He looked like he was AFK for a second, just standing there as he got absolutely melted.
Yeah, it feels bad. See that sometimes people just like need to go get a snack or something. They just sit in the game, and then it's just free kills for everybody else.
You don't want to get a snack when you're the top 3 squads left, man. That's you gotta hold off on that.
Yeah, very good. They must have been very hungry. Thank you also, Nature Hunter, for the llama up. Appreciate it from chat. Yeah, sad that he was AFK though. Just must have been really, really hungry.
Must have been really hungry. Yeah, it's really needed that snack, dude. Low blood sugar.
Yeah, and the 2 teams entering their end game. It looks like Afterlife in the top right has 4 squads left, and in the bottom left we have 301 with 2 squads left, and it looks like they have hostiles detected. See where they are, and the Bloodhound ultimate will come out. Moving up the rope here. Push inside. Last team here, they got to try and get this win. Big points, and wow, just deleted off the face of the earth right there. Moving further in to try and find the other ones, and it might just have been that solo. No, actually, there's gonna be more, and wow, though, there it is. Whew. Very nice, very nice.
Beast of the Hunt coming in big there, lighten up those targets, making it a lot easier to know who to murderate. So good for them. We'll see how many kills they put up there, and that'll be a back-to-back championship games, I believe, for 301. I don't know, 28 kills, so another really big kill game for them too.
Definitely, they're doing very, very well, and see Adola going into their mid game here at Gauntlet. They have a team in their sights. Top right, we still have Afterlife with 4 squads left, so maybe they could be taking a championship too. And we have 12 squads, I believe, in the bottom right. Entering their mid game is Kamikaze after their game that we saw from them. So Adola looks like they'll actually get a couple kills out of this early Gauntlet drop. And it looks like maybe the Octane. No, I thought he was just standing AFK for a second. Maybe he went to go get a snack too, but not. He's
snack
gonna.
Meta.
Yeah, you gotta have fuel to make sure you can play. Definitely. Looks like 301's gonna drop back in. So after their back-to-back championship games with almost 60 kills total, they're looking really good right now. So they'll drop back in and see what's going on with everybody else.
Indeed. Now, unfortunately, a bit of a rough exit there for Kamikaze. Ran into a gunfight they couldn't quite win, so that'll be the end there for them. Dark Soul there in the top right-hand corner, chucking a grenade, seeing what he can turn up. A little bit of dynamite fishing there for all intents and purposes. And I'm just getting word down from our producer, just due to some connectivity issues. I think we're going to restart the stream here real quick, folks. Considering, we're in the mid game for most of these teams, or teams are requeuing, I think we can pop it right now. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stream might go down for a second. Don't panic. We'll be right back with you on the other side of just a quick break. Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Brief break there. Welcome back to the Console Gaming League Kill Race here. Qualifier, sponsored by 301 Gaming. Thank you guys for coming in clutch and providing the $2,000 prize pool that will be the end result for our qualifiers this weekend and next weekend, leading up to an impressive final. Brief break there, but we are back in the action. These teams still hard at work. Top right corner is the game, I think, closest to its conclusion. And they're working their way up right now. 4 squads left there. You see Dark Souls kind of waiting for this Wraith portal to give him a little bit of a skip around the outside edge there of the ring, and playing an interesting game up in artillery. I'm not sure exactly why they popped themselves into this corner, truth be told, Llama, but they're there now.
Yeah, there are 4 squads left in a kind of tiny ring, so but they don't really want to get caught out here. That could be, they're not looking with too many kills, but there are 4 squads left. It looks like there might be a solo somewhere because of the squad numbers. We'll have to see. Again, 7 squads left for Adola, so they're entering their mid game, and both others looks like they just dropped and getting not really too much, but it looks like on the containment drop, 301 got some kills, and they are chasing another team. Classic 301, chasing teams.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what Afterlife Gaming was trying to do. Like, they buried themselves in this corner, which is good, right? Like, this is a fundamental good, and only 2 squads left. So they'll have to see kind of what comes of that. And oh wow, they just win by ring out. Nasty.
Ow, ouch. Oh man.
Well done. I again, advanced strategery going down the line there. The only problem, of course, by winning that way, Llama, is you don't get the kills. And you get the first place finish, but you only have 6 kills to your name, and that's I mean, it's good to get to first place. Don't get me wrong. That's 100%, and that was definitely a big brain play there at the end to set up the scenario by which they won. But still, I mean, 6 kills is not going to propel you to the top of the leaderboard when other teams are throwing out like 30 kill games, is it? Truth be told.
And that was a long game. That went to I think ring 4 or 5. So outcome, they weren't trying to push it. They knew they had the win, but they didn't want to like accelerate to do any faster. And as we see Adola in the top left just kill another innocent lifeline trying to run away as they all 3-shooter.
Bottom left-hand corner, out comes the sonar ping there from the hunter, and they've got sights on, so he'll pop Beast of the Hunt here just to give him a little bit of advantage. Running a flatline and an R99 in the top left-hand corner, though. A bit of a gunfight coming out there as well. Adola trying it out on the edge of the ring. Now being forced to run. They stopped, I think, to take those critical shots there, see if they can bring somebody down. They're getting a little gate kept here, though. It's a triple take shot straight to the face there of the lifeline. Another shot coming in. Now we got the mortars dropping as well, and lifeline will go down, and that could quite easily be curtains there for Lost in Ruins. I don't know that the rest of the team really going to be able to get back, but oh no, never mind. They're close to the edge of the ring, Llama. They could crawl out.
Yeah, it's just with Lost going down, he can't like pop the lifeline res, so I'd have to. They're in a bad spot, but they might be able to get out of it here.
Interestingly enough, instead of just seeing if Lost could crawl out there, Bloodhound's just going to come inside the ring and make the res. So interesting choice maybe. Medkit goes out, which makes sense. Going to pop the shield battery in the ring as well, so really kind of taking full advantage of the sort of scant protection that the ring and that rock offered as he pushes forward to join up on his teammates, who do appear to have finished off their battle there. The Wraith doing, I think, a lot of heavy lifting, but the ping going out almost immediately reveals, I think, more potential enemies on the scanner up there. And sure enough, shots coming in. Somebody on the roof. It's not Santa Claus, that's for sure. Don't know what quite happened to them. And again, lifeline going down. That's unfortunate.
Ouch.
Just used a bunch of resources to get back up.
I mean, she does have her heal drone, and she does look like she has a Phoenix kit, so won't be too much. But another down will hurt her again. So we'll see. They scan, and they're seeing more teams, so they got to be careful with lifeline and no health. But she's gonna pop it, get it off, and they're gonna continue on. Grabs that purple body shield, pretty nice. Will help them in the next fight.
Yeah, Phoenix Kit coming in big there, and it's just a hard push on the outside edge of this other team to finish them off. So a nice clean elimination series there. Well done. Interesting running the R99 and the RA45. That's a combo.
Yeah, it's got a lot of burst potential close range, which I think is what they want. They want to definitely be closer and not use snipers and pushing as far as they can. And as we said in the bottom right, I believe Kamikaze got wiped, so they have to drop back in here. And bottom left looks like 3-1 is engaged.
Yeah, 301 is feasting right now here around the airfield area. They've been kind of involved in this long-running, I think, series of gun battles, and this is just the latest in the conclusion of that as they take a squad down there. Still, I do believe they have more targets in the area. That I think they have to res their teammate there, but I believe there was somebody else they were looking for, but maybe not. The Pathfinder, I think, was doing an execution animation on the backhand side. Might just have taken the time to finish off whoever it was. Bottom right-hand corner, it's a good drop in there from Kamikaze because they've already got at least one kill to their name. Still, though, yeah, the gunfight not over there in the bottom left-hand corner. I think 301 still getting pressed, had to reload pretty quick there, popping some shield cells and just trying to reestablish a little bit of territorial control, as it were, on the outskirts of the airfield.
It looks like bottom right there in a little bit of trouble. The Pathfinder does have a gold shield, so that's going to help him a lot. He's going to stick with the res, and looks like he's going to get it off. Maybe the lifeline can res the other. And, wow, just clean reses, and as we look at our other teams, looks like Adola looking really, really good on loot. Red, purple, I believe, on shields, and they're doing really, really nice on that. 4 squads left. They can take another championship. 4 kills on Lost in Ruins, so not doing the best, but not doing the worst. We don't know how many Bloodhound or Wraith has either. So
imagine being able to know how many kills your squad members have. Crazy madness.
That would be good. They could just put it like that.
Why would you ever let them do that?
I don't know.
It's just increased toxicity, isn't it? It's the Overwatch theory of leaderboards. You don't do leaderboards because you don't want people to be mean to each other. But you know, surprisingly, people always seem to find a way to still be mean to each other.
Yeah, weird.
Weird how that works. Strange, funny. Still playing around, kind of. Oop, they're right on top of somebody right there. Hello. Whips out the R99, empties the entire magazine on that, then whips out the RE45 and tries to magazine dump that as well. I'm not sure what exactly the thought process was there. And the self-revive drone going out now, and that is that is an interesting change to Lifeline Kid, and has, I think, in a lot of ways, kind of restarted the value of that character. Is they're going to take that Wraith portal up and deliver a stern shooting to the Wraith there on the high ground.
I don't think they wanted that package.
No, they did not. Definitely didn't want to sign for it. That's for sure. But yeah, that Lifeline change really has breathed new life into that particular character. I feel wasn't really that popular. Pretty much completely kind of underrated on the back of Gibraltar, right? I think for a while there, and then they added the ability for the drone to revive independently, and suddenly becomes a very useful tool indeed.
She's super useful, especially a lot of people use it defensively, but if you're in an attack and one of your top person that pushed in first goes down, you just pop that drone, the other 2 push up, and you're totally fine. So 2 squads left. They're looking to take another championship. Adola looking really good in this tournament so far. Trying to, I think, catch 301 with that back-to-back huge games with almost 60 kills. That was pretty good by them.
Yeah, 301 surging forward, and obviously as our leaderboard updates, we might update these teams as well. In the bottom right-hand corner, Kamikaze, though, running into a bit of trouble. That's both the Lifeline and the Pathfinder just getting wrecked there on the high ground. That leaves the Wraith in a 2v1 gunfight, and Wraith doing her best, somehow wins that one. Great job there, polishing off 2 enemies with a little bit of assistance there from the Pathfinder, providing like the riot shield standing in front of him with that resurrection shield. But you know, it's not often I think you see somebody walk into a 2v1 gunfight with pretty much no mobility. That was just a straight shootout on top of that roof and walk out. So credit to him. Tiny Wraith hitbox
And it looks
really
like
coming in
top
big.
left, maybe Adola's found this final team to fight. Looks like they have, and they're gonna push up. Lifeline a little bit behind. Caustic gas comes out, so they're separated here. But one goes down, Young takes one down, so Lifeline's just gonna walk through the smoke, does not care. Try and find this other team running that RE45, R99, pushing up on maybe the last one, takes another down. And looks like maybe they should be able to take this win. Looks like that is the last guy, and yep, there we go. Boom, boom. Championship. Congrats to them.
And therein
see how many kills
lies the strategy of the R99 RE45 combo. If you shoot enough bullets, you will hit them. First place and 23 kills. That's a solid game.
Yeah. Very good. I think both of our left teams have might be contending for this #1 spot. 301 maybe a little bit further ahead, but Adola, if they can keep up consistency, that's one of the most important things in this tournament. So if they can keep this up, they might be able to take first or second in this one.
Indeed. Well, speaking of our 2 left teams there, bottom left-hand corner, 301 coming in hard there. I think trying to close out that match. And then pushing forward, as it were, Beast of the Hunt being activated here just gives him a little bit of extra edge. Uses the Beast of the Hunt to go in for a res. I don't know. I think he was already in it. He's still pretty pixelated for me down there on the bottom left-hand corner. So I think I'm really getting only the Super Mario SNES version of events down there on the bottom hand side, as it were. You see this Hemlock coming out here, chucking some shots downrange, but no real luck to be had on that one.
I mean, they do have one of their team members like fully eliminated, so they're pushing a full team as a duo, but they're still like double-digit kills, still getting a bunch more. And this comes out, but Wraith goes down. Oh, I'm gonna get this here.
Oh, he's got to finish it off.
Oh,
yeah. Well done. We'll manage to get the Wraith res back in on the action.
And it looks like 14, I think, kills. Wow, that is a lot of kills for one person to have. And final team here to maybe get this win. Would that be back to back to back?
Yeah, third in a row. Yeah, if they pull off the win here. I mean, obviously, too, it's good for them getting those kills, right? But at the same point in time, they are kind of having to make up the difference of having one less team member. So that maybe explains that deficit just a little bit. Not to say that we have definitely seen squads where one person gets a significant amount of kills, but they've already found that second squad and they got the drop on them because they've knocked someone already. So this Bloodhound going in hard here, sends out the pings, got 2 hostiles detected on that. He's pulling out the axe there. I think more for show than anything else. Likes to show his opponents what's coming for him. Got another knock there, and that'll be the last member, I think, of the enemy team that he's engaged with. And wow, that's a quick, clean finish, as you please right there by the folks from 301. And a 3rd championship in a row there. Really solid stuff. After kind of an initial rough start, they've definitely hit their stride, Llama.
Definitely. I mean, 3 championship. Oh, wow. And 27 kills. That is huge for them.
All of their wins, too, have been in that realm, and they've been pretty quick. Those were some quick games. That was fast.
Yeah, it really was. And Adola in a little bit of trouble, top left. They have alive.
Yeah, it looks like they've queued into a rough start there, truth be told. Lifeline down. they've lost the Bloodhound already. Just the Wraith left here, and I mean 16 squads in the game. It's a bad setback to take it early on. You know, honestly, like we say in the kill race, sometimes you kind of come out with these initial blast and it's not so hot, but it does slow things down when you lose a team member, because you have to go get the respawn, right? It messes up your rotation just a little bit, and ooh, looks like they're going to be looking at 2 respawns here because they're going to finish off that lifeline as well. So that's almost, to me at least, Llama, that's the territory in which you just decide, you know, time to go back to the lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Not by choice, but...
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst loss, because it did go pretty fast, and they didn't like run around the whole map trying to revive or something like that. So they do get 2 kills, not the best, but I mean, they can drop another match and recuperate what they lost. And as we say that, 2 other teams dropping in right now. We got Kamikaze dropping in on the bottom right, and it looks like they're aiming for that airbase area. And we also see 301 in the bottom left on a 3-game win streak.
Credit to them. I mean, Afterlife Gaming here in the top right-hand corner are pushing their way towards another kind of win. They're in their top 5 squads. No real kills to show on it for the Octane. You know, I think this team in particular maybe is the one that is perhaps not adapting that well to the kill race strategy. I think they're still playing very much kind of in the latter survive to the end mindset, which is obviously nothing to scoff at, right? And is totally viable and valuable in most normal gameplay, but not really picking up on the need for speed of the kill race, as it were.
Yeah, a lot of teams dropping back in here, so we're gonna see. It looks like bottom left 301 already taking another person down. So they're getting into fights fast, and they're finishing them fast too. So everyone looking pretty good on the board right now, except our bottom right. It looks like Kamikaze is just going to be in a little bit of trouble here. And actually, no, I'll finish it off real fast. Good for them.
Indeed, yeah, a little bit of a rough jump, maybe off the line, but still managing to recover there. Right now, I think we're just going to take a quick look at our lead.
I would be surprised if a team was not running a Revenant, because do know the metas really well and really know that Revenant ult really helps them. But it could be something else. It could be that Bloodhound. We've seen Bangalore in a few teams, and that Lifeline definitely prominent.
Yeah, we sure have. Sorry, it sounded like you said bed galore. I know you said bed galore, but it's like, not quite familiar with bed galore. It's a significant amount of bends. I don't really know. Going back there and taking a look at our big board, so a little updated, as it were.
Actually, we have our first Gibraltar here, bottom right corner. Kamikaze is running that Gibraltar.
There we go. Kamikaze Neophytes, the other Kamikaze crew, coming in there on the backside.
Top left looks like they might be in a little bit of trouble. They finished 2, but 2 are down for him. I think it's a 1v1 now for the Bloodhound here. And yeah, they just come out easy. Looking at 301 here. They're still doing very good.
Yeah, they certainly are. Sorry for a second there. I thought we had 2 301 teams. And I was like, oh no. A bit weird. But no, it's just we're taking just a half a second, I think, to get some names updated here. VM Esports there in the bottom left-hand corner. 301 in the top left hand, better than Codster in that bottom right hand, and then we're working on a little bit of trouble there, I think, with the stream in the top right, so we're trying to finesse that, as much as that black screen is just something that we can project whatever we want to on. Probably gonna change that up. No idea what's going on over there for Afterlife Gaming. They might honestly be still live, and this is just kind of like a break scene or something. God only knows. But 301 Gaming getting hot and heavy here over at the market. You saw that ping come out. The sonar from the Lifeline or the Bloodhound had 3 pings on it, so they definitely know their opponents here, and they're just going to polish off that squad easy as you please. And then I think they're going to move into immediately another engagement, because sure enough, the Bloodhound getting shot down there. But that Bangalore smoke, that came quick and fast there to get their Bloodhound back in. And with teammates like that, that's I appreciate that, I tell you what.
Yeah, that smoke is really nice and gets the res off, getting ready to fight this other team here. 301, like we've seen, not really fall into any teams here. Wow, they just take out another team just real quick, polish them off. 2 squad wipes for them right there at market.
Pew.
I got him on.
Just that easy. Beast of the Hunt activated as well, so giving them just that little bit of a tactical edge there as they push forward. Unfortunately, a bit of a rough elimination there for better than Codster, going out in 4th place with only 5 kills. Could have been a bit better, I would say. Could have been a bit better, but
yeah,
you know.
Rest in peace to Gibraltar.
Je ne sais quoi, yeah. Jibby only getting his 1 pick. He's helping in his way. So, good old Jibby. What a character. What a legend.
Yes.
Pushing the high ground here on the bottom left-hand corner. That's a fun little engagement here. There was a Watson, I think, hiding in a tree. Drove him out pretty quick. It's actually, truth be told, it's not a bad little place to hold up there if you're a Watson with your little whirly-do hickey. That's name I can't remember, but you know what I mean. The thing that makes grenades go zap. What is it? Interception what?
Perception pylon, I believe, is the full
Perception or interception?
Interception.
Okay. That seems like a really complicated name, truth be told. This is the zap thingy.
Yes.
But scientists, that's scientists for you. That's STEM majors right there. Always got to make things a little bit more complicated.
I think we should get a petition to legally change its name to Zap Thingy.
Zap Thingy. This makes bad grenades go away.
Yes.
Makes me laugh. We got OHP Gaming, I think, coming in here, taking out the black screen. So our our impressionist art piece of a Apex stream getting removed there to change it up a little bit. OHP Gaming, of course, one of our solid squads. They've put in some good work in our previous kill races as well. So a lot of good action to expect out of them as we push forward here. Taking a second to requeue down there in the bottom right hand corner is better than Codster. It's just an unfortunate amount of matchmaking time there, Llama. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't go in your favor, but hopefully they can get actually they'll get into a match pretty quick. And most teams looking in their mid game 5, 4, and 7 squads left as VM Esports is entering another fight here.
Yeah, VM Esports having a little bit bad day, but fortunately Pathfinder is there to save his buddies. And sure enough, will do that. And there comes that self-res drone out again. And you gotta love that. Just the ability to throw that thing out and just walk away. Really useful trick.
Absolutely crazy.
And your ability to go loot
like
there as well, Llama. It's the kind of these unintended little, or not unintended, but these little unthought of aspects of it too are super valuable. Just the ability to not have to take the time to res the teammate, which gives you an opportunity to kind of up your kit here. Now in the top left corner, Beast of the Hunt is activated. Was running with the Kraber there for a second. Looks like they're going to swap over to the R99. That's an aggressive shield battery pop. As he'll take this Wraith Portal straight into the jaws of danger there. He doesn't care. He just wants the kills. He's the Beast of the Hunt. What does he care for danger? And sure enough, he'll get a knock there as well. I don't know what happened to that Pathfinder. There was one around there, but might have hightailed it back to the Wraith Portal, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that was it ended up being a good Wraith Portal for him because they only had blue shields. That whole team had red, so ended up really, really good for them. So.
And the axe is out
top again. Right. Yes. Always keeping the small flex on everyone. Top right looks like OHP in actually a really good spot, pushing a Watson. 3 squads left, and it looks like who we're watching right now has 10 kills, double digits, so very, very good right now. Still pushing though. Can't really push in because of those Watson like fences right there, so another aggressive shield battery.
Indeed, but they did manage to, I think, work that one out. They are, of course, completely down a teammate there, OHP Gaming, so it's a little bit more of a difficult situation for them to operate around, and they do have to be just a little bit more cautious. But a championship coming in again from 301, who basically can't be stopped at this stage. That's their 4th in a row, solid championships, and they're racking up kills as fast as you please there as we begin to approach our half-hour break mark. They have been moved down to 3rd place, though I assume that game will catapult them back up into 1st place. Zito Simp and Assassination Esports both passed them, but not by a significant amount of points, and certainly nothing that a 1st place 31 kill game is going to make up. That's a really impressive finish for them there.
Super impressive, and that's 4 in a row. They should get some bonus points for getting 4 in a row. But very, very crazy, and all over in the realm of at least 27 plus kills. So we did see them fall that first game pretty hard, but after that, I think they're hitting their stride, and maybe that first game was just a warm up for them.
Sometimes it is that way, just a warm up. You know, you just gotta get your eye in. You know how it is sometimes. For us pro Apex players, of which I am definitely one, 100%. Yeah. I had just 30 kill games on the regular. I don't know about you, Llama, but man, it gets tiring sometimes. Just 30, 30, 30. First place.
I have never actually gotten a 20 kill game. I had a 17 one where I had 2 down and couldn't finish the 3rd, but never 20.
Here's the real question: what is the lowest count you've ever had on a win? That's the real question.
I don't know. I only had some weird ones where people die outside the ring and we like never fought a team.
Championship coming in there for OHP. Good job. Let's see how many kills they ranked up. Lowest I ever had was 2. So.
Yeah, I've had a 0 where we never fought anybody and then the other squad died outside the ring. So
Hey, Sometimes you're doing everything right if you do nothing at all. And 23 kills in a first place finish, so a pretty solid game there from OHP. Don't know if it'll be enough to really catapult them into the lead, but certainly enough to keep them in the hunt for the qualifier. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, a little bit of a rough area there for VM Esports, a nasty close range engagement. They have dropped that Bloodhound as well, so or the Pathfinder, I should say, who it looks like that was a weird series of symbols. It looked to me for a second like, oh yeah, he's getting rezzed. I was like, what is going on? I thought for a second there they had it was saying pick up his beacon, and then somehow it was like, no, he's getting revived, but no, they were trying to go for the res, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get it because there's another team here kind of pushing them hard, as it were, and they'll finish off that squad. I don't know, maybe not. There's a Wraith there as well. Now that is interesting, and I think they're about to get pushed by somebody else, so they need to get that Pathfinder up ASAP, and they kind of do so, but he's not going to be able to recharge his shield battery when he's getting shot. And this is turning into a bit of a
coming in from all angles. Oof.
Yeah, clumsy gunfight here from all parties involved. As you see Lifeline basically jumping into the teeth of danger there. It does manage to get behind a rock and pop the shield battery. And now maybe settling just a little bit as they begin to push up towards the top of the mountain here. You see that Bangalore ultimate coming out, but it feels a little bit too late there, and they will secure their championship, but certainly not with lack of trying, if we're being honest.
Yeah, there's some really nice hipfire 9 shots coming out, and take another. We'll have to see how many points they get, how far it'll catapult them. All 3 teams except our bottom right team just took a win, so tight competition.
That's here. A solid game there coming out for VM Esports. First place, 27 kills. Definitely nothing to scoff at there.
Definitely. Good games. So, I mean, all of them were really good kill games too. So, very, very tight. The bottom right looks like better than Codster, entering their mid-game with 1 kill on the Bangalore, so we don't know how many. Looks like we're actually we're switching maps, I think, to World's Edge now, so all the teams now dropping in World's Edge, no longer Kings Canyon. Maybe that'll change it. Maybe that'll maybe teams aren't as good on World's Edge as it is a lot, like, I feel it's a lot bigger map and a lot less open.
Well, it's more than just a feeling. It is actually the truth. It is a bigger map. As to being more open, yeah, I think there are some wider areas. We've definitely seen kind of the swap over to World's Edge has caused problems for teams in the past. It is a map in which you are much more likely to run in scenarios where you're trying to like hunt down the last team, and it just takes a lot longer. We definitely have seen that time and again on World's Edge, but it'll be interesting, of course, to see how teams kind of adapt to those longer sight lines as well, just the general size of the map. Everything perhaps on World Edge making a successful kill race just that much more difficult, if we're being honest.
Definitely. We've seen it before, a bunch of teams searching out single people or something like that, waste a bunch of their time, even if it's the win. We've seen just teams just jump off the edge, not even waste the time to actually go and find that other person.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, we are coming up to our kind of halftime break here. That'll be at the 25-minute mark. Teams, I do believe, have a 5-minute grace period on the back end of that to report some games. The break overall is just a 10 minutes, and then we'll be back with you at the 35-minute mark. So we'll just keep that in mind here as you watch these teams go through. A lot of them most likely queuing to what will be their last games of the half, so the last scores they can report. Would be a bit surprising for me if any of these teams were able to finish and queue in really quickly. The only potential contenders, I think, for that title are better than Codster. They did have a little bit of a jump in. They've got 6 squads left in their match, so they could potentially re-queue, but it would not be a complete game if they re-queued on the other side of it.
Yeah, true. We've seen some teams cut it like super close because they really want that win, but it's not worth it to not get your game in. So we'll see how many can finish their game or not, if they can make it fast. So they probably can't get 2 in. So We'll see, though. Like you said, better than Kotster, probably will get 2 in, but the second one probably will not be a full game.
It will be, I imagine, a partial match, all things considered. Even as we say that, though, for sure in the bottom left-hand corner, we see VM Esports queuing in. This will for sure be their last game. There's no way they could ever possibly fit in another one, given our time constraints, unless just, I don't know, they turned on the aimbot. Just turned into a walking machine gun, automated machine gun turret. That's about the only way.
They'd have to shoot through walls too, but
yeah, that would help. Would make things a lot easier. Truth
a
be
little
told.
bit.
Beast of the Hunt activated in the top left-hand corner. I don't really know that there's much hunting to be done. I legitimately think he's just using that for that movement speed to try and get back into contact with his team. I'm not really sure how the Bloodhound got so separated from his fellows there, but or their fellows. And we'll see if Bloodhound can get back to them in time, because it looks like that Bangalore is taking some significant damage, but nothing they too pressing, because they're able to get that shield cell off, so they'll restore the shields there. And Bloodhound nearly completed the marathon sprint, a great odyssey back to the team, just in time to release the sonar ping there and light up some potential prey on the outside edge. And sure enough, the shot's coming out fast already from the R301, and the accuracy there, Llama, just laser tight, but not enough accuracy perhaps to survive being shot in the face. Those two things usually don't correlate, so.
No, not usually. And we see top right, OHP just getting a few more kills into their mid game here, as looks like actually Bloodhound literally 1 health trying to pop this shield pad and stay alive here, and gets droned but does nothing to him. It'll EMP and hurt his teammates, but this other team might push now. They
I thought that was an opponent there for a second, the way he came around the corner. The name didn't immediately pop up, and I was like, oh, that's a really unfortunate place to stop and pop a shield battery, but all good there. Uses the med kit to get back in it, and they might actually be getting third-partied here as well, because they definitely did not start this fight shooting in that direction. Out comes the axe again. Gotta get to ping goes out there, so they've still got the sonar ability coming in, and Bloodhounds, at least today's stream, we've seen Bloodhounds getting a pretty significant amount of value out of their sonar, as unfortunately they'll lose the Bangalore, but good shots do come in there from the Bloodhound to do some damage. And you know, Watson fences, as annoying as they are, they don't stop bullets, and the other team learning that there. But oh my, that is a dangerous situation indeed. Good little bit of just hitbox wiggling there to get Bloodhound out of any significant problems, and that fight really continuing at pace. 5 hostiles detected on the ping, and sometimes one does wonder if when you see 5 hostiles picked up on your sonar, whether or not it might just be the better idea to skedaddle, resurrect your teammates, maybe try and reset the board here. But no, pushing into the caustic gas apparently was the solution. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, it was a unglorious exit. Inglorious, perhaps is the right word, there for VM Esports. Yeah. Sent back to the lobby real quick. Top right-hand corner, mid-game solidly there for the folks at OHP Gaming, who get a pick right as we mentioned them. Bottom right-hand corner, better than Conster, running into a little bit of trouble. 2 teammates down, but Jibby survives. The rock upon which the team is built there still holding out, but in this top left corner, Beast of the Hunt is activated, and it does look like Bloodhound I think they're still trying to fight this one out. I'm really not sure. Oh, and it's over.
He really wants the kills.
He really wanted those kills, and that's the first that's the first hurdle we've seen for 301 in a long time. Does break the streak of first places, which is a bit of a shame for them, but they maybe can re-queue into another one, but I don't think it'll be a complete game.
Yeah. They do get 7 kills. That's a small consolation for them, so not the best, but the Bloodhound tried to fight there instead of running, which might have been the better option.
Sometimes discretion is very much the better part of valor, but I don't necessarily know if they had a lot of options there. I think the worst aspect of that entire fight was that it just took so long to end.
Yeah, definitely.
if Bloodhound had run away and resurrected, obviously that would have prolonged the game, but certainly would have damaged their odds of winning. And the other hand, if he had just died quite quickly, it might have allowed them to re-queue a little bit faster and at least try and farm some kills out of another game. But the way that that played out, it should take a significant amount of time for that to reach its inevitable conclusion. And that's really not too hot there at all. Still in the bottom right-hand corner, better than Codster, Jibby's still up. Hasn't really been able to receive the banner from one of his teammates. I think he's got the other one that they can respawn in. So we'll see if he'll be able to do that. 301 is queuing back in, which, you know, makes sense. They do have the time to do it. They will just have to drop out early on. Meanwhile, in the top right-hand corner, OHP managed to push on hard there, and ooh, somebody's using an energy weapon. I tell you what, these days we really don't see that much energy weapon usage.
Yeah, I mean, so they nerfed the Havoc obviously super hard, where the first 2 bullets, like, the recoil goes super right. But if you, like, pre-fire it, or if you just avoid the first 2 shots, it can still be, like, insane for the second half of the clip. So, and as we see right there, just takes one out super easy. It's still definitely a good gun, but with the reduced mag capacity, I would say not the favorite of a lot of people, but Bangalore gonna run it, so.
Yeah, I feel like energy weapons in general just don't. I don't know. They're a class of weapons that I think a lot of people are just always hesitant on, for a number of different reasons, whatever that may be. Maybe they just don't like the color green, but OHP Blade there, doing a relatively good job. Has that Havoc. Doing a good job too of actually using the wingman as a secondary, kind of swapping in and out with it to do damage and kind of finish off those kills. Still 5 squads left in their game. Funny enough, in this Gibraltar down here, Ninja Xperia is spectating their Gibraltar teammate, and funny enough, they're heading towards 3 squads left. Is super average. the Gibraltar has got the lifeline back in as well, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they're going to get placement points here no matter how this plays out, so that is quite entertaining, as it were. Whether or not they're able to finish any higher than 3rd place, I guess we'll see as this ticks down. Certainly lifeline only having white shields is not the ideal, but you never know. Fortune favors sometimes.
It was better than the one, though.
That is true. Also better than being dead. So there's that as well. Hemlock coming out here as we take a look at the lifeline, who is hiding on the edge of a building, and definitely hiding seems to be the strat. I think they're waiting for the other team over there to engage. That one perspective shot didn't quite land what they wanted to. It's a good hit there, actually, from the lifeline in the bottom right-hand corner. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, a fast and furious gunfight there indeed, as that Prowler comes out. Doesn't even have the semi-automatic fire on it. Just gets that 3-shot burst in. Big pings coming out there from the down Pathfinder as the press comes around the corner. Oh, no. That's
Ouch.
bad luck there.
Yeah, that stinks, but it'll get them some points, some placement, I believe. So 3 squads left for OHP, also 3 squads left for better than Codster.
And that almost certainly will be the last match there in the bottom left-hand corner for them of the half. No real point in re-queuing. Even if you manage to find a map in 2 minutes, you're not going to get much get value out of it.
No, not really.
Bottom right-hand corner, kind of interested to see how better than Codster plays out. Still hiding. They lost the lifeline again, which is unfortunate. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, OHP's got to finish this one fast, and better than Codster's got to finish this fast.
The airstrike.
Oh, and the dome.
Run, Gibby, run. Oh, God.
Anybody can do it.
Not that way. There's just no safety to be had in the middle of the open field. At least he'll get behind some containers. I would have loved if that airstrike had killed someone. That would have been so funny. Orbital
too big, Jibby.
Yeah. Too big, too Gibby.
Sit out in the open.
He's still alive, though. I mean, for a big guy, he's doing a good job of basically hiding behind every piece of available cover that's ever been known to man. It does look like on the top left-hand corner there, 301 will be ending their run. into the lava. No, oh no, can't quite get there. Not really sure what he's watching, but he will get taken out. So that'll be the end of that squad, and they'll go ahead and get their report in for that last game. OHP Gaming, I think they're going to try and finish this one out. They only have 2 squads left, and they're perhaps the more interesting of the 2 teams that we still kind of have going on the board. Well, I guess 3 teams.
3 kills for 301, so a little bit of added bonus, but not much. And it looks like actually VM Esports is going to load in. And I think
right on the gun.
They got to be done
right on the gun. We have hit the 10:25 mark, so we are in the grace period. I think we'll take a break here once we see how these 2, just a break on the broadcast once we see how these 2 matches play out on the top right-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner, respectively. You know, Jibby's still alive down there on the bottom right-hand side. The Kraber coming up on the top left-hand corner, getting a couple of shots coming his way. He's going to get pushed hard here in a second, so he might want to, maybe ditch the Kraber and just run for it. And sure enough, that's exactly what he does. That smoke coming out, he will get the opportunity to restore the shield battery there and keep it together.
Definitely. I mean, they're with that shield bat pop, they're probably a pretty good spot with the Bangler ult coming out. Very good shots to take him out. And Jibby, bottom right, is trying to poke the steam off of that tower.
With 3 squads left, this Jibby is tenacious. He is super average, not giving up at all. You see him throwing some shots up there at the Wraith. Of course, the ring is closing. He will have to come in. It's a good championship there for OHP Gaming, so mass credit to them pulling that one out, and we'll see how many kills they have. And that really just leaves us with Ninja Xperia, the only one who's getting close to the end. And I want to take a break, but I also want to see what happens. So he's dipped. Well, look at that. That was a really good barrage actually on top of the high ground, doing a ton of damage. He doesn't get any confirmed kills though. That's a shame. Couldn't quite bring the orbital barrage down exactly where he needed it, but now he's kind of checking his angles there, and unfortunately, truth be told, he is in deep trouble. Gonna pop that.
There's another
Phoenix
squad
kick.
somewhere too.
Yeah, there is somebody else hiding in this very small area. I'm just really waiting to see what happens. He's gonna run for it. He's going in. He throws the dome. He's holding up. This is amazing. It's. Oh no!
Oh no!
Jimmy, no! It's all ogre now, down there in the bottom right-hand corner, and you hate to see it. It was a valiant effort.
This is self-res.
He does have a self-res. He's not going to be able to get it off though.
Oh no!
Oh, and he's out. Oh, tragedy upon tragedy. But hey, credit to him for sticking in. That's some tenacious gameplay right there. Truth be told, tenacious indeed. Anyway,
yeah, definitely, he tried his best.
He tried his best, and at the end of the day, sometimes you walk out of a game with a 3rd place finish and 2 kills, but you did try your best. So well done, super average. That was a good Givey survival. At the very least, very entertaining. Watching that one come to its conclusion. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the first of our qualifiers here for our 301 sponsored invitational on the Console Gaming League. $2,000 prize pool on the line. Today is our first qualifier. We'll have another qualifier next Sunday. These teams in the kill race trying to earn their spot and their shot at $2,000. I am Corbec, joined here in the broadcasting booth by Llama. We're going to take a quick break, just so you're aware, based on our scoreboard. 301 Gaming sitting at 199 points, OHP Gaming 194, Zito Simp at 192. So those first place slots looking pretty tight. Assassination Esports currently sitting there with 1,165 points and 1,091 kills. Can't help but feel maybe that's a little bit of a mistake. So hopefully that'll be corrected as well. Otherwise, they just queued into the biggest game of Apex that has ever existed. I'm not sure. One or the other.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen like some really good games. Honestly, we saw that 301, I think 4 in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong. wins, and all of those being over 27 kills. So
Yes, it is a
at least
close hunt to be
on top
sure. Yeah,
spots.
it is a close hunt to be sure. Llama, they are really pushing in hard. They're trying to secure that top spot. So we'll see what they can do. On the other side of this intermission, we'll be back with more Apex action in just a few minutes.
Get up there.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Console Gaming League Apex Qualifier for our $2,000 Invitational in conjunction / sponsored by 301 Gaming, who are proudly presenting the prize pool for these qualifiers. I'm Corbec, joined here by Llama with the lovely donut in the production production booth. My lord, I am all over the place. On the other side of this break, Llama. Hopefully our teams are a little bit more settled than that. As we take a look at our leaderboards, some corrections have been passed through. I believe there have been some updates and some re-recorded games. You can see Zito Simp sitting there at the top. You've got Reapers United, Esports Knees coming in close as well. I'm actually looking at another, I think, even more updated version of the leaderboard that actually has Assassination as the top at 233 points, maybe a correction of their score, which was a little kind of all over the place earlier. So, yeah, getting a good look indeed at our squads and a tight race overall.
Yeah, definitely. Zito, so my leaderboard, so Zito's in first, 230 points, Reapers United, 200, 301 with 199, and OHP with 194 are our top four right now. I believe on our leaderboard we did have a couple issues with somebody entering their damage number as their kills, so it looked like they had 1,000 kills and 1,000 damage. As we know, that's pretty impossible, so this is obviously qualifier one of what is going to be the Invitational, and how the Invitational is going to work. It's going to be single elimination. It's going to be 16 teams until semifinals. They will play a best of 3 round, and then for quarter and finals, I believe they will be playing a best of 5. So again, and the winner will be receiving $1,000, I believe, and an engraved trophy with their team name. So big stakes on the line for this tournament.
Yeah, indeed. Now, keep in mind as well, the qualifier itself is a head-to-head. That's why we're talking about things like semifinals and whatnot. Both these kill races, the one that we have today and the one that is coming up next Sunday, are obviously just that, kill races. And based on placements in these games, players will be racking up qualification points. And the individuals, the teams with the highest qualification points after the end will be the ones who qualify the top 16. And we'll also be seeding the brackets based on those as well. So a lot to keep in mind there.
Big stakes on the line.
Yeah, big stakes on the line.
Again, next weekend, the next Sunday will be our qualifier 2, and then the following Sunday and Saturday after that will be our finals match for the actual Invitational and the actual tournament.
It's exciting stuff indeed as we transition now over to our big board here and see how our teams are doing. They started back into the matches about 10 minutes ago, so we should be seeing most of them kind of coming up either to their respective end games or very least the mid games of their matches. And just based on what we can see here from them, they are certainly coming up to the end games here. OHP has 2 squads left, 10 kills to the name there, so a good day indeed for Blay. We'll see if they can just close that one out. 3 squads left in the bottom right hand corner. That's VM Esports you're looking at there. 301 has 4 squads left, 6 kills to the name there in the top right hand corner, and then in the top left hand corner that'll be Zito Simp, who are currently one of our leading teams. All of these teams, I think, respectively in the I want to say top 6 of our leaderboard right now, so doing pretty good here, all of them. And you can actually see trying to close that out, goes for the punch there, kind of misses the initial contact in the bottom left hand corner, but will manage to finish off the kill on the back end with a little help from the teammates. Still one member of that team kind of hiding away though, and they'll have to try and get him down. And they do, and that's a championship. Nice job. Championships coming almost simultaneously, I should say, in the bottom left and bottom right.
Yep. Double championship, double wins, and very big kills from OHP. You gotta hand it to them. That is just another huge game for them.
Yeah, it certainly is a huge game for them. Truth be told, doing very well across the day is OHP, and basically, we're seeing good stuff coming out of VM Esports as well. Perhaps not quite as tight, but certainly still in contention here. Of course, the top 16 teams in these qualifiers will be awarded, as I said, a certain amount of qualification points. Most qualification points definitely going to go to the first place at 30, but I think second place gets 20, and it kind of goes downwards from there, or 25 for second place, third gets 20, 16, 13, 10, 8, 5, and then it just goes down into 2 qualification points for 9th to 12th, and 1 qualification point for 13 to 16th. So all these teams definitely on the handle here, or very much in the race for getting a solid amount of qualification points, and hopefully enough qualification points, I should say, to just clear their way straight into the qualifier. Certainly whoever winds up with the third place or first place is setting themselves up for that.
Definitely, if you get in first place, you don't even really have to play in the other qualifier, but it is another money one. So
yeah,
see why wouldn't you? So
yeah, why wouldn't you? Indeed. Each of our qualifiers does have a $150 prize pool attached to it, so the first place team coming out of this will walk away with a little bit of scratch here. It won't be a complete just qualification points victory for them, so worth keeping in mind that as well. And all building up to that final, which should be exciting. But speaking of exciting, top left-hand corner here, 7 squads left, pushing in hard. Beast of the Hunt activated there. Zito Simp coming in, unfortunately will not survive that initial contact. The Bloodhound has to hope that the Pathfinder can clean up the mess there a little bit and come in for the res. And I imagine he doesn't particularly like that helpless feeling of waiting for his teams to come revive him. Does anybody? No, probably not. Dank Panda asking when we're changing people. We have changed people, or at least some of them. I think we're mostly trying to keep with the teams that are sitting at the top of the leaderboard. So that's the squads that we have on screen right now. 301 and OHP, VM Esports all earning their place there by just consistently winning or doing relatively well. So we did see 301 kind of have a monstrous first half, truth be told, Llama.
Yeah, the 4 back-to-back games going down in history, almost like the TSM of this tournament here.
I think we've probably seen similar streaks before, but maybe not entirely visible. I mean, we saw all of their wins on the stream, which is pretty impressive. 3 squads left on the top left-hand side for Zito Simp, trying to just close this one down. You see that caustic gas forcing them to play this maybe a little bit more cautiously than they would have liked. Unfortunately, somebody, I think, tried to do a bit of a run out there, and the sonar ping will come in and basically reveal everything. And that'll be 2 squads.
Nice. Kills, big kills. It looks like maybe a little bit of trouble with 301, but actually they'll get the res off and it should be fine. And other teams going into their mid game. So it looks like OHP into 14 squads left. It looks like VM Esports in about 16 squads left. And top left, Zito might be taking this win here with 2 squads left.
Well, certainly hope so. I mean, Zito has the opportunity to win this one out in fine style, and I mean, I would expect them to at this stage, considering how well they did just taking down that caustic. That being said, I mean, we were talking about it before the break, but this is where you start to get into difficult territory on World's Edge. The map is so big that when you get into these like 2-team left situations, and I mean, we're only on the second ring here in this game, truth be told, there's a lot of space, right, to cover, a lot of ground to cover, and they don't have an Octane, they have the Pathfinder, so the mobility is not there. But now both of the teammates firing there, I'm not sure if they're shooting just to generate attention. I'm going to assume that's what's happening, considering that Bloodhound is still running and basically throwing that sonar out every time it comes off cooldown.
Yeah, just trying to find the other team, pull them closer. This match super duper quick, and top right, it looks like they might be in a little bit of trouble. That lifeline res coming out, but OHP, no, 301, sorry, my bad. Looks like they'll be in a lot of trouble there in that really bad spot. And I think 2 down. We can't actually see anything yet. And there we go. You have 2 down. Lifeline with the shock sticks, small flex on everybody, and just pushing forward, trying to get out of there.
The heirloom flex, as it were. Has not recovered either of the banners. Now you have to kind of make that consideration of whether you go in for the recovery. I think at these point in time in games like this as well, and again, this is something we talked about in the first half, is at one point in time when you're down 2, you have no shields. You have to recover both the banners. They're spread out all over the place. At what point in time do you just decide, you know what, maybe requeuing is better here?
Yeah,
They might not have a lot of choice because she just got pinged on sonar, so the decision could be made for them in the short term.
Wow, really good shots though.
Yeah, definitely.
Most kills. A 1.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of there at all, but a little bit of a rough situation for the Lifeline, just trying to, I guess, grab whatever they possibly can out of the stuff that they have around them. I mean, still alive here, but again, right, it's all about time. It is a kill race, so it gets kills, speaking thereof, but I mean, at what cost? And there's some shots coming in on the far end as well. Good little hitbox wiggle to try and avoid the majority of that damage. Still, that clash not going in favor of the Lifeline. Good bit of pre-fire, catches the Wraith, I think, turning a corner. Trying to bring him down now. Got good elevation on him. Misses those initial shots. And what a time to miss, Llama. Of all the times, all those shots they've been hitting, that was the ones you didn't want to miss.
Oh, it looks like Bloodhound's banner will expire.
Oh, yeah. This is just not good. You've got to either get this kill or die, really, at this stage. And even if you get this kill, I think the temptation to die is still very much there. End it, re-queue, get the full squad back in, and write this one off, as it were. But still continuing this fight here. Meanwhile, in the top left-hand corner, the hunt still on. And they found Contact. Unfortunately, Contact meant that they lost their Bangalore early on. So Bangalore with the face check there, and you can see the orbital barrage coming in, but still, great little position. Pops up on the high ground, gets the Pathfinder. Cheeky Pathfinder.
There it is.
That care package didn't belong to you.
Just tapped him once with R301. I think he might have stolen a kill from one of his teammates.
I have a distinct sense that he might have stolen a kill from Bangalore there, all things being told. And now Drowsy trying to give us all a little bit of nausea. Thank you for that. Flashing the screen there. Worth pointing out again, much congratulations to, or thanks, I should say, to 301 for sponsoring the prize pool for this invitational, putting forward that $2,000 to keep you guys invested and keep you guys fighting. So much credit to 301. And then a shout out as well to one of our community members who runs an engraving business called Your Engraving Supplier. They're providing the laser engraved backlit trophies that will go to the champions who win this invitational. So much thanks to them as well. Some exciting stuff there coming out as well.
Laser engraved backlit. That sounds that would be something I put on my mantle.
Yeah, I have seen kind of the test designs for them that have been coming down the pipe here in CGL, and they are very cool. It's definitely something you want if you win, and it'll look awesome. It's got your gamer tag on it. It's got your kind of championship, and then it's all done up in the kind of Apex logo and what have you. It's really something.
It's amazing. Yeah. Also, a huge thanks to, I mean, this tournament wouldn't be possible without all the players. So we have 75 teams participating today. So big thanks to them, and also a big thanks to everybody watching in Twitch chat supporting the stream. Also big thanks to Donut, our producer behind the scenes.
Down. Everyone else reviving.
So it looks like we're just gonna be chilling with the rest of the teams here, and it looks like Zito will be dropping back in, and a little bit of trouble in the bottom left getting the res off, but that ring is gonna hurt for them. I don't even know if maybe she can get this ring off. I guess it's only round 1, so they're actually okay. But 7 squads left in the bottom right with VM Esports as they are the kill leader, and top right 301 is also dropping in.
Down.
Bottom right hand corner, VM Esports here under fire, kind of playing the edge of this ring around, I cannot remember what the name of the big glowy thing is, but oh wow, oh boy, that's not great. Pinned in the corner by Thermite, and oh, they kill the guy who comes after him. So I got a feel for him a little bit. I think he probably thought that he was onto a good thing there when he dropped down and started shooting, and it was not to be. Instead, he was the one who got clapped there on the back edge, and teammates going down as well. So I think they might have just polished off a whole squad there. Oh, nope. Still one member left alive, and they're playing this a little cautiously here. The drone coming out there just provides them a little boost of healing. Those thermite grenades, pretty dangerous in these tight spaces, but not dangerous enough. All things considered, because they'll push right back out and get aggressive here. They'll lose the Pathfinder, but nothing they can't polish off there. Now, truth be told, they might have another squad in the area. I'm a little confused, actually. Don't know if they were the third party or if they were getting third party in that situation. Well, truth be told, but it doesn't really matter. They win it out and close it down.
Yeah. Close it down and
jump pad. Top left-hand corner, nasty little fight there. Alternator coming out, Mastiff coming out as well as a Lifeline goes in for the res there. Unfortunately, Lifeline will manage to get the drone res in, but does avail them little because the Bloodhound comes forward and introduces the newly resed individual, another Bloodhound, to the Mastiff at close range, not the place that you particularly want to be. Meanwhile, top right corner, speaking of Bloodhounds, a lot of Bloodhounds today, actually, funny enough. Seen a lot. More than I think we've seen in a very long time.
Definitely. Good R9 shots coming out, top right corner. Most teams are entering their mid-game still, 12 squads. Actually looks like OHP into their later stage with 3 squads left here. So still continuing in this tournament here. Looks like 5 squads left, I believe, for VM Esports. And like I said, entering the mid-game for the top 2, holding out that Ravens bite, that heirloom flex on us. As looks like actually Zito might be in a little bit of trouble with their health, but they're gonna heal it up just a little bit.
Ravens bite? I guess. I never really thought about birds biting. I guess they could. You think they're like pecking, but whatever. I guess Raven's peck doesn't really sound quite as impressive. Or as scary. Just kind of more annoying than anything else. And speaking of Bloodhound there in a bit of a tight engagement on the top right hand corner, we'll get to finish though, with a little bit of help from the Wraith there on the back end. Top left hand side, Bloodhound pings just going off all over the place. It's a sonar fiesta today on the drone. Oh, he's just gonna run it. He's just running across lava. So that's things that people do every day. I don't know. I hate to say it, but I just don't know that was intentional. As impressive as that was, the mega Jesus act there, running across water, and let's change it to lava instead.
Ran across the lava. Actually, he's dying. Okay, he just died to the lava because he tried to avoid a thermite. That really feels bad. They're going up on the zip on the right. That's really sad. He died. He tried to avoid that thermite and stepped back into the lava. Oh,
pesky lava, isn't it? You gotta watch out for it. It's very hot, and more people there will take a dip on the lava flow. That's the new hotness, no pun intended. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a new resort thing. That like hot tub, maybe.
It's like a team building exercise. Walking on hot coals. It's all about trust. Is what it is. So the bottom left hand corner, OHP Gaming, I think actually coming maybe towards the end of their match. 2 squads left. We'll see if we can kind of get a close up on them and watch this one go down, see what they can muster. Interestingly enough, I think most of our squads are kind of coming to their end here. And you can see doing a quick swap there is Blay. They do have the team on immediate engagement here, so they'll get some shots down range, see if they can finish things off using that wingman kind of as a secondary to make up the difference there on those distance shots. Won't have a lot of luck in that though, Llama, as he rotates back around.
Exactly, Corbec. I mean, they also don't have their third member, so could be an interesting fight. I mean, they do have their experience
What?
of like they're better, but maybe maybe not having the third team member might lose this fight for them.
Oh no, obviously you can't really. Yeah, it's okay. We won't even talk about it. I still have the big board up, so I know what just happened on
Yeah,
somebody's screen, but I'm
yeah.
not gonna
I'm gonna
embarrass
talk
them
about it.
by talking about it. So let's just go back and watch here. OHP Gaming trying to close this one out. Shots coming in fast and furious. The pursuit is on. What even is going on?
Oh.
There's just a Pathfinder jumping around, and they'll get the knock here. But still, somebody's still around. There was a Bangalore there for a half second. Don't know what quite happened to that. And Gibraltar Dome as well. Nobody on their team brought that. And Jibby running for the high ground there. Good shots coming in on the Bangalore on the initial contact. Just trying to get some snipes in on the Jib, but the Jib shield blocking the most of that damage out.
Just eating a whole clip of that bullets. They do get the Pathfinder
Gibraltar.
eliminated, so oh no, you're too big.
Scott climbing. Jimmy. And sure enough, Jimmy's still alive here, and this is weird, like this is like weird ends here. This is some Scooby-Doo level stuff at this point in time. We got people running in and out of doors, climbing up walls, jumping around, and still not really able to close things down up here on Mirage's little ship. And sure enough, they still haven't finished it yet. They're hiding.
Oh, I think they might be doing a punch battle.
Oh, I see.
Want to do
Okay, inviting their teammate to fit or their opponent to fisticuffs. Oh, it was a trick. It was a dirty trick, and they'll pay for it. Oh, that's what you get for being dishonorable, though. If you were trying to set up the fisticuffs there, certainly did not end well, and now the airstrike coming down on the dome. Oh, that's a nasty situation indeed. Well played by that Gibraltar on the other side, actually, truth be told. Hopefully they can just polish it off. And sure enough, they will get the win there,
yep,
so well done indeed.
Oh, that was so mean. They really didn't shot him. Yeah.
Very dishonorable, but that's okay. And we'll transfer back out to the big board here with that championship on the tail end. First place, 23 kills. Just goes to show you cheaters do occasionally prosper. For shame.
They should get at least
demerits. We're going demerits there for tricking that poor Gibraltar. If that's what's going on, of course we are making some assumptions here. They may not have been challenging the Gibraltar to an honorable duel of fisticuffs, and instead we're just waiting to see if they could get him to come to him, which did work out.
Yeah, definitely. Right corner, it looks like 301 is going to be in another fight. Really good shots coming out from the R301 on the Bloodhound, and they will one down really quick, and Drone EMP comes in. Hits them, but they are fine. Looks like a 3v2 now. Top left corner, we got 3 squads left on them. And Bloodhound has gold, and Pathfinder has gold, and Bangalore has purple. And they are pushing another squad, 3 squads left.
And they have
2
sonar.
Very close games.
Bloodhound getting melted there on the front side. That's a little unfortunate. Bottom right-hand corner, still, they've been hunting this last team for a long time over there on World's Edge. And again, an illustration of what we were talking about, of that map transition. It can be real hard to track down your enemies on World Edge, but then again, that is a really small ring they're in now. So favoring them very much coming to this conclusion.
But we do have all of our teams very close to getting a victory. Maybe we'll get 3 simultaneous ones if we get lucky. But definitely everyone was looking pretty good for now. And we see OHP going to drop back in. So pretty good. 2 squads left. And I think, is that double-digit kills for VM Esports? That's good.
Yeah, it definitely is. Unfortunately, they're oh, there they go. They found somebody. Taking a friggin' forever. What is even going on? Is somebody glitched out or something? No, they'll get the championship there. That was a weird ending to that, and a long time in the coming. But they will get the win. We'll see how many kills they have there on the tail end of that. But Can't knock them. Getting the
Yeah.
championship. Still, other squads still in this. Unfortunately, really, the hunt on for most of these teams here. You see Beast of the Hunt going out there with the Sonar Ping conjunction. 23 kills in the first place, so a solid game all around. Eyes now up there on Zito Simp. I think they're coming up to the end there, and we'll see how they play out
Yes.
this last section here. Maybe we'll get a full screen look at that. They've
Got 2 squads left. They
got him up on the high
Go ahead.
ground there, Llama.
Yeah, not the best position to be fighting him at.
Ow.
Yeah, but there.
The Bloodhound chasing the Bloodhound. Oh no, they just closed in on him from both sides, and that is
Oh man,
that is unfortunate
though.
there for Llama. Or not Llama.
Yeah.
What is his name? It's not Llama, it's Lars. My apologies. I saw it too. Again, I saw an L. And my mind just jumped.
Somehow I'm playing and casting the same.
That would be very impressive, truth be told. I would much credit to you if you were able to do that.
Looks like a 2v2 now, though.
What? That was an amazing smoke right there, by the way.
Yeah.
Ricocheted off. Oh, destroys the drone, denies the res for both of them. Oh, no, he knocks them both out. Now they've just got one enemy up there on the high ground. Shixido going up to the top there, takes the zip line and not to do but watch there as Shixido closes it out. And they did have some previous lava-related struggles earlier on, so a good championship for them. Again, we won't talk about what we saw, but we all saw it. Or those of us who are watching the multi-switch, I should say, saw it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just you follow the lava. You follow the lava again. Anyway, in the top right-hand side, Drowsy there, trying to close this one down, and should actually be heading in towards the closure. I will say there for Lars and crew, they probably wanted a slightly better finish there. Zito Simp, first place in 18 kills, but Drowsy closing it out over there on the top right-hand corner as well. The wins coming fast and furious, as it were, on this side, and we'll see what Drowsy's got in terms of, wow, that's a good solid finish there from 301. Very much a return to form for what we've seen from them. First place and 30 kills, so well done indeed there.
First kind of revealed in the chat that he died 3 times to lava. But yeah,
it just glows, man. It just lures you in. It's the siren song of the volcano. What more can you do?
True.
Very known factor right
it's a nice
there.
lava bath, I bet, though.
Gotta watch out for those intrusive thoughts that tell you to jump into lava. That's the problem.
Yes. I love the lava.
Very much so. Hey, we're not judgmental space, whatever makes you happy. Bottom left corner here, a bit of an awkward engagement for OHP fighting around this house as they're back on Kings Canyon now. Shots coming in, didn't quite land it, didn't quite get what they want, and I think we're about to see a rather unfortunate exit there for OHP as Blay is shot from 3 or 4 different directions at once on that one, so that's unfortunate, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Spectating his killer though, so it does look like he will be avenged, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, they take 4 kills off of that one. That was kind of a long game, not the best, but I mean, we get to drop back in. Our other teams are dropping back in. We got Zito on the top, 301 on the top, both dropping back in. It looks like VM dropped back in and they got a couple kills off this gauntlet drop.
Indeed, yeah. Just kind of resetting the cycle there. That's all that was going on in the bottom left-hand corner. Everybody getting synced up on their games. And it is funny to me, Lava, how we do see these teams kind of coming in and running so close to one another. I mean, obviously not in the same map, but certainly just close to each other in terms of when they start and when they finish.
Definitely, we've seen some like interesting, like very almost close games, like where they were right next to each other. And we've seen some teams cross paths with each other too. So It is interesting. They are all back on Kings Canyon now. I think that is the favored map by all of these because it is a lot, like you said, a little bit smaller map, a lot faster to take your wins. So this could affect it. Two rotations of Kings Canyon, one rotation of World's Edge today.
Yeah, and as you can see, for those of you who are following along on the leaderboard, it's a pretty tight race at the top between 301, Zito Simp, and OHP Gaming, all kind of just chasing each other for that lead. So we'll see if they if one of them can kind of emerge on top here. About 45 minutes left in the kill race until we hit that 5-minute grace period as we watch all of our teams going. So a lot of action still to go here. At the moment, it's OHP Gaming, I think, who are holding on to that first place spot. They might just have vacated it, though, based on the kind of a bit of a poor performance there on their drop. So the pressure very much on for them to try and reassert themselves. And speaking of poor drops, top left corner, Lars and the crew over there at Zito Simp having a rough go of it right now. Fortunately, it does look like Lars was able to close it down. So once we get him away from the lava, his focus returns a little bit. And he is able to get some kills there and put some things together and save his team. But it looks like they're getting aggressed on almost immediately, so they barely have any time, really, I think, to go in for the loot. Or for the loot. Not the loop. Good lord.
Yeah, I mean, most teams entering their mid game now, as we saw, a lot of wins. I think every single person on the big board, if you're good, they're all dropping back in here. Like you said, very tight race. So every minute counts, every drop counts. So that except for that 9th place 4-kill game, I believe, for OHP, might hurt them a little bit and drop them down a little bit, but is still very tight between these teams.
Yeah, it looks like that one might have already been logged as well. So they've got those kills in, and I think they were still kind of holding that first place slot. That being said, it looks like the scores have just updated. So Assassination Esports, who we do not have on stream, have just pushed forward into first place. They have 8 wins on the day, first places, so that's pretty good. Zito Simp 301, though, all still very much in the hunt, really not even 30 points separating these teams at the end of the day. So really not much in it at all. 1 or 2 good games, all it would take to push them forward. Even as we say that, Zito Simp in a bit of a dangerous situation, still really getting good value out of that Bloodhound Bangalore combo there, popping the smoke and then popping the sonar almost immediately, doing wonders for them on the backside as they get some kills. Most action probably we have. That being said, on the top right-hand corner, it was a good little maneuver by Drowsy there going in and looting. But back to that top left, you see the smoke and the sonar coming out again. And it'll be Beast of the Hunt being popped now once more. And we'll see what Lars can do with it this time.
Still mostly mid games here. OHP may be in a little bit of trouble. No one else really. Oh.
Lars got a surprise there, stepping around that corner, and so did the Lifeline as well. And it's the Lifeline who, unfortunately for them, gets the worst of that engagement. Will be brought down. Sonar ping coming out just to check the status of the bunker, its relative security, not to be found. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand corner, point blank L-Star there, trying to bring somebody down. Not quite as successful, perhaps, as they would have wanted it to be. The Mirage doing the bamboozle there as well, so making Blaze life a little bit more difficult, but they will, I think, finish off that squad at the end, and then they'll go in and get the res, and Blaze will take a well-deserved kill leader spot as well.
It seems like he's always kill leader.
It certainly does. 4 kills to his name right there in that match to earn him that kill leader spot. 6 squads left, only 3 kills on screen. 5 squads left now on the bottom right-hand corner. That's VM Esports there, just trying to close things out. Top right-hand corner, mid-game spot, 5 kills left. Or 5 kills to the name there on 301. So all of these teams looking pretty solid. And you see there, as we're talking, VM Esports engaging with the squad and then lasering said squad. Mirage coming out too little too late, though, I think, there to save that particular Mirage. And certainly they will bring him down and loot what they can from that box.
It's teams are all pushing hard for first. Looks like El Zito taking more out up top, and looks like they're in a interesting fight. They take him out really, really quick. It looks like the one guy only had a P2020 at no ammo, so that's kind of sad for him.
Oh, sometimes all you have is a P2020 and no ammo. You just got to make it work. You know, we can't all be that. We can't all be that skillful, though. You know, every once in a while, sometimes you just take the L.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
Sometimes the P2020. Sometimes you get the P2020. Sometimes the P2020 gets you, as it were.
Yep. And looks like I think our closest team to the final is VM in the bottom right. 3 squads left, trying to take another championship to secure themselves some really good qualifier points for the qualifier that's upcoming 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, truth be told, Lana, these have been some lightning fast games on Kings Row. If we compare them to those matches we saw coming out of Kings Canyon, these have just been super fast. We are blazing through here and really highlighting that map size differential and the map size difference, the role that it plays in these matches as well, to just allow these teams to move so much quicker through these sets. Oh, Bangalore with the jump there. That was a close one, truth be told. I thought we might be seeing somebody taking a bit of a long dive into the ocean there, but he will pull it off, so he'll continue going.
Yeah. And if we're looking at comps again, actually, top right, Beats the Hunt will come out. They're looking for some more people. And comps, looks like most of them are running that Pathfinder, except for top right and bottom left. They're running Octane and Bloodhound instead. Bangalore being pretty popular too, which is interesting. I didn't think her too much as a popular character, but we've seen her like before in these tournaments, and people are doing good with her.
Still in the situation though, which I think we were at in our last invitational, where you really never see the use. You really don't see people using the Bangalore ult that much. It's very interesting, actually, how that just does not make its way out. And dueling Beast of the Hunt's now activated in the top left and the top right. One of them will come to an end eventually. Both of them deriving value for their teams, though, as these guys try and close out their respective games.
And the Bangalore does actually make sense for Zito because they have that Bloodhound with his Beast of the Hunt.
Yeah.
He can just see everything but the smoke, so makes sense. A lot of people running light, I think, is the favorite of a lot of people here. And actually, ouch, Bloodhound on Zito Sib, trouble here.
Yeah.
Team getting him down.
Lars taking some serious hits right there. He's got to rely almost entirely on his teammates to finish this one off, which they will do. Credit to them, and they'll get the res in there, and Lars being repaid there, I think, for his earlier victory that saved the team a little bit, and he'll get back up on his feet.
A VM bottom right will take a championship, so we'll have to see how many kills they got, but another big win for another team on our board to secure that first place spot or second to get themselves some money and some good qualifier points. The qualifier, so 17, maybe not the best, but still high double digits, and nothing too bad. They do get the first place placement points.
Yeah, you probably won a little bit more than 17 kills if we're being honest, but you can't fault them, I guess, for at least getting something out of it. And getting the first place will add some points, 10 points on the back end as well. So, you know, not too much to complain about there. You're getting your well-deserved victory. Top left corner, they're nearly done there on Zito's Simp, and they're about to close in. So maybe if we can get a full screen view of them just shutting this one down, we'll see how this last gunfight goes. They're pushing really aggressively into this team that's holding on these double doors. Wraith in there as well, getting burned down, pops the G7 and uses it, firing from the hip. And I don't even know if we will get to full screen in time, because they are done and finished. And that was fast, Dona. That was clinical.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Not much to be said there for that one.
Them all?
24 kills.
24?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Looks like as we go back to big, it looks like 3 squads left in our top right and 3 squads in our bottom left also. So both teams going towards their mid game, and we will see Zito and VM dropping back in here.
Yeah, looking at the top right corner, the Ravens' bite is out as they're running across here. Looking, I guess, for these final three squads, and there's a brief moment there, checking the sites, might have had something, does have Beast of the Hunt available, and Beast of the Hunt will be unleashed again. Maybe not, oh, there, nope. Looks like they have sights on where their opponents went, so getting some value out of it for that. Still scanning, though. Hasn't quite found what they're looking for. Definitely trying to follow this trail. Bloodhound living up to the name as it is, really on the trail of their opponents here. Ooh, you see those multiple pings coming out there, some shots coming in as well, so they've found their target there. A couple of sort of speculative shots from the G7, not enough to really do any damage, but he'll send some more down that way, and he's got some on now as they begin to push in. Keeping an eye too on that bottom left-hand corner, a bit of a duel around a Gibraltar dome going out there. Just trying to finish off a wounded Octane. Don't quite know what happened to the Gibraltar who threw the dome, but it looks like they have secured control of the cavern area. Back up to the top right-hand side, it's a counter Beast of the Hunt coming out. We've seen this play out multiple times. The Bloodhound pops out, gets the knock, and then runs off again. So he's going to kind of force out the revive here, Llama, and we'll have to see if they can get their teammate back in on the action as the rest of the enemy team begins to push forward. Not particularly good. That grenade going off in a tight space. The sonar coming out as well, and a Wraith portal going up there, and they're going to take it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I don't know if they're going to be able to survive this one. Yeah, and sure enough, Bloodhound getting taken out there at the end of all that, and we'll probably be seeing a squad elimination notice coming up there just in a short amount of time.
Maybe Wraith can clutch up V1, V3, I guess. And just watching that staircase, maybe gets one when they, if they're not smart enough to turn around when they walk up the stairs. But very hard situation, not the greatest. So 301, they did get second in this game, so pretty good kill point or pretty good placement points already. And ouch, Wraith will just get deleted.
Yeah, the sonar went out, and it was kind of GG's from the moment that sonar went out. Unfortunately, there was not a lot Gen Z could do. The other team pretty successfully closing down there and getting the finish. So that's unfortunate, but still, I mean, a second place finish, not bad. We'll see how many kills they have to their name here as we transition back to the big board. 19 kills and a second place finish, not ideal, but still not terrible. All things considered, definitely could have done worse. Meanwhile, in the bottom left-hand corner, it does look like the hunt still on there as OHP try to close out this game. It was a rough landing in the top left-hand corner, though, for the folks from Zito Simp. The Bloodhound already down there, and you kind of hate to see that one. If we're being honest, the Wraith right there next to him as well. The tags coming out, they've lost, or they might almost lost the Pathfinder there, but they do come back and get the picks. Pathfinder has to be a little bit careful, though. There's still pressure here. A lot of explosions going on. Might just be enough for them to close around, and they should be able to revive that lifeline. And Lar is kind of a glutton for punishment today, if we're being honest.
He's been the target. At least his team can catch it up for him. And
we've seen him go down quite a bit, and however, that being said, his team always there to capitalize on the situations in which Lars meets his unfortunate downing, so that's good.
And yeah, bottom left, OHP takes that another win for them. I'll have to see how many kills it is, but very good. We'll see here.
First place in 24, not bad.
E plus is probably where teams want to be aiming, so pretty good. Not as big as kill games we've seen from like 301 or something like that, but definitely will add to their total and maybe give them the boost they need to take back first place or keep first place or wherever they are, because things are so tight right now.
Zito Simp having a bit of a rough time there. They've lost 2 team members now. It's just the Bangalore left alive. This drop into Octane's little arena here really not paying off for them in the long run. No, both those banners I think still need to be recovered there on that top left hand side as well. So just a genuine kind of disaster across the board here, as it's only Face who's left. And trying just to play this one cautiously there. Meanwhile, on the bottom right-hand side, transitioning into the mid-game is VM Esports. 8 squads left, but only 1 kill on the screen for them, and they also have a Wraith down, so that's not particularly great. A Mortar Barrage dropping in on top of the Lifeline won't help matters either, because that's a significant chunk of damage, and Lifeline caught in the open will go down there. Not a lot you can do when the heavens are opened up on top of you. And as we're saying that, top left-hand corner, unfortunately, Bangalore not able to close that one down. Face getting eliminated, and that'll send them back to the queue.
All these teams are very close. I think we're going to take a look at the leaderboard over here and see what teams, how close it is, and who is on top here. So, switching from the big board to scoreboard here. It looks like.
What do we got?
HP Gaming, 55, pretty good. Sim second, 340. Assassination third with 318 and 301, and fourth with 309. They're our top 4 right now. I mean, it's still pretty tight. OHP and Sim probably a game or 2 away from everybody else, though.
Yeah, you do kind of get that feeling. Then again, I think 301 maybe still hasn't reported their last match that they just did, which was a pretty solid game. Not probably ideal for what they needed, but definitely points on the board. Whether it'll be enough to catch them up to Pseudo Simp is not clear. They'll probably surpass Assassination Esports there. VM Esports is kind of getting slowly pushed out of the hunt here with only 290. I don't know that they'll be able to wing their way back into one of those top slots. Really looks like it's those top 4 teams going to be gunning for this. But the real battle, I think, between OHP and Zito Simp, we're just going to be watching them go back and forth here. Obviously, we did just see Zito Simp have a really not great game. Fortunately for them, it was a not great game, but it ended quite quickly. So they were able to re-queue in relatively fast, but it'll be interesting to see those two teams kind of duke it out for that top spot and those 30 qualification points here as we transition back over to our big board. 30 minutes of play left with a 5-minute grace period on the end. So these teams starting to feel the pressure here to try and close this one down.
But also, like, on the leaderboard there, Esports, Reapers United, and VM are all, like, within 4 points of each other, so that's a 5th place, but the difference between a 5th place spot and an 8th place spot, just 4 points, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see who's gonna push it forward and take that 4th place or 5th place spot, who's gonna take first. We'll keep watching it.
Yeah, definitely not a lot in it, and I mean the qualification points going down on those lower sides are good as well. It's not something to scoff at. 4th place will get 16. 5th place gets 13, 6th gets 10. So those are all, good point totals going into it, and gives them a chance to tang here in this invitational, gets them an opportunity to push forward towards that $2,000 prize pool. Their opportunity to put a boot in there, $2,000, brought to you, of course, by 301, who, as you can see, they're still in the hunt there as well. So all good stuff there for them. It's been an interesting series of games so far, and of course now to the point, Llama, as we get into this last bit, we do start to get it kind of into clock management as well, right? Time management becomes a thing. As it were, and it looks like we'll be updating our teams just a little bit here to reflect at least one new addition. It'll be FS District coming in here to represent.
And board OHP Gaming in our top left, Zito Simp in our top right, 301 in our bottom right, and Assassin's Nation. Very hard to say in the bottom left.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you want to say Assassination Nation, but no, it's just Assassination. Yeah, in that bottom left-hand side, did not. I don't know what happened right there. You queued into a game and then had to go right back out. So that's vagaries of the servers there. I want to say respawn. Don't know what was up with that one, but OHP Blay there in the top left-hand corner getting some shots in with that Wingman Havoc combo that we've seen them running basically throughout the day. Trying to close down, not really getting it though. Teammate will be there to finish it off as the Octane
Ooh,
stepping in to knock that one down.
mid-air shot.
Yeah. Can't fault that. Some stunt flying, as it were there. Drowsy in the bottom right-hand corner with 301. They've got 9 squads left. Not a lot of kills on screen for Drowsy, but nothing really to be ashamed of either. The sonar ping comes out. They've got a hostile detected. That, of course, transition us over to Raven Bite, which he does so like to show us as he's always charging around the map. Still long-range gun battle down there. A smattering of shots coming out from the flat line. Kind of felt that their heart wasn't in it on that one, Llama, because they really didn't get many hits at all. But they'll close in now, use that Bangalore smoke kind of aggressively, I think, to close the distance and pop the R99. Out comes the ping again. The axe out looks so menacing, doesn't it? I always feel like he's about to come around the corner and just whack someone with it, but it's not usually what happens. Shots coming out from that flat line as they close down on their particular victim, and there's really nothing their opponent could have done there. It was very much boxed in and brought down. Top right-hand corner, a similar story, except this one involves a bit of a Mozambique, a cheeky beaky, as it were.
Oh, wow, that feels bad.
They'll finish him off with a cheeky beaky as well. That's unfortunate there. And that poor sucker on top of the watchtower getting a rough lesson in L stardom as well. And he's still going to have this Mozambique. I assume that we'll be seeing that switch out sooner rather than later. But for now, at least, that'll be one of the weirdest gun combos we've seen all day.
I mean, he does have the hammer points on it, so it is a good addition just to finish off the shield. L-Star Mozambique is a little bit concerning.
Wacky, weird, are some words that we could use for it, especially, I don't know, whatever, man, if it works for you, far be it from us to criticize, clearly something going on there that we're not entirely aware of, and best of luck to him, and I'll be interested to watch just how many kills he's got. I mean, he's got 5 kills, so that's more than I would usually put up in a game,
true.
So truth be told. He's doing pretty well with it. Bangalore smoke coming out there on the top left-hand side, just giving a little bit of cover there. They do need to get their Octane rezzed and back in the fight. The Wraith Portal, I think, coming out specifically to do just that. It gives Octane a bit of an escape line. The res coming in almost immediately. Portal being guarded there. Good teamwork by the crew, keeping an eye on that portal as they begin to back away. That looked like triple take shots to me, and they'll get Octane down there as well. That is unfortunate considering they just rezzed Octane back in. 3 seconds until a smoke here from the Bangalore, so they might be able to do that. Bottom left-hand corner, no, there will be no Bangalore rescue there for the Pathfinder, who gets brought down. And yeah, unfortunately, Assassin Nation having a little bit of a rough go of it. Only whites as well. They will get the chance to grab the banner here at the bitter end. It's a bit of a shootout, though, over that banner as we see the Wraith just decide to teleport away rather than continuing to try and fight that one out at a distance. Just has to get the shield cell in. They still have not been able to recover the banner. Stuck as it is in the mid-ground there, Llama, and it's a bad place for it to be.
Definitely not a great fight there. One of their team members down. So they're an alternator, probably not the best weapon you want right now, pushing into Watson fences. Again, they don't block bullets, and then I don't know if that team knew that, but a couple wingman shots come out there. Both top teams entering our mid-game phase. 7 squads left, 8 squads left, and in our bottom right, also 7 squads left. So all teams entering their mid phase. The Wraith has to phase out of there to, I don't know, to try and avoid, maybe get the lifeline, use the lifeline as bait for a second.
The cheeky beaky action continuing the top right-hand corner there. That Mozambique being put through its paces, and all credit to him. But, honest to God, I think, Llama, that's the first time we've really seen a Mozambique get a lot of play on the channel. So good for them. Lara's repping the unreppable as it were, at the moment, and making it work. 7 squads left in their game. He's still got 5 kills. He's got that L-Star out as well, though. Given where they are kind of at a complex point is both good and bad, right? It means that there's a good chance that teams will rotate through you. On the other hand, the odds of getting third-partied in this particular location are, I would say, quite high.
Yeah, definitely. And 7 squads left, so they gotta.
Oh, well
my
done.
gosh. Oh
Pops him with the L-Star, and then out comes the Beaky, and he knocks him down again. Oh, it's beautiful.
Combos that people never think of
You'd
that
love
always
to see it.
always work.
And he's jumping down and getting aggressive here as well. He's going to pop the sonar. He's got 3 hostiles on. They will lose the Wraith. That is unfortunate. Still got the L-Star, though, and you can feel the desire to use it pouring off of him here. He's got shadows on the roof there. I think it was his teammate dropping down, so he definitely ducked there for a second as he saw that coming over. L-Star fire coming out. Can't quite land the shots. Mozambique comes in. Oh, no! Oh, and that's the Mozambique for you.
Oh, got thermited.
Yeah, still not a very good thermite. Not really sure what happened right there. Smothered it with his body, apparently. Bottom right-hand corner, Beast of the Hunt is activated. He's got an opponent kind of rolling through there. Will knock him down. Drone coming in on the top right-hand side, pops the EMP. Absolute disaster stuff, but they will get the Wraith portal out. Now, can his team come in and get their revive? Oh, still bleeding out. There's the thermite in there as well. It was another half-hearted thermite. Not quite enough, but they will get the res and get him back in. Bottom right-hand corner experiencing a bit of disaster there. 301 exiting in 5th place with 13 kills. That is not what they needed to stay in this race, Llama. That is not good at all.
Very much not. Top right, it was good. The Zito, I think the Wraith had a gold bag, so she did res the Bloodhound with some extra stuff, but it'll pop that Phoenix anyway. Yeah, like you said, 5th place, 13, not really where they wanted to be. That was a long game too. So with 20 minutes left, and then the grace period, they got it. Their next game has to be a good one, or they could lose their 1st or 2nd place here.
Yeah, we really need to see 301 kind of return to form, hit that win streak that they were on earlier, and just get some big games out. You cannot have these weak finishes here at this stage in the tournament. You just can't have it, or in the qualifier, I should say. You need big games to score big points, right? Like, I hate to sound John Madden-ish, but you don't win if you don't get big points, and that's how it is.
Definitely, and another Phoenix pop comes out from the Bloodhound. He's been popping his Beast of the Hunts like candy all day today. Whenever he gets it, just every single time using it.
Yeah, Lars a glutton for punishment, that's for sure. If you needed any more evidence of that, the L-Star and the Mozambique combo is certainly contributing to that overall assessment. Bottom left-hand corner, it's a new drop there for the folks from Assassin Nation. And they are doing all right there. Got a little bit of a loot tick, getting some guns early on. Probably not the ideal firearms they would have wanted, but still not bad things they can work with. Top right-hand corner, 2 squads left, and it's a Watson there who has set some traps around this drop ship. But Lars fears no traps, goes straight up on the top-hand side there. No fences will keep this Bloodhound out. As he comes around the corner with the Cheeky Beaky. Trying to get some shots, can't quite get it. Oh, just skirting the edge of the fence there. Somebody is eventually going to have to go inside, though. They can't hide up there forever. Taking the zip line down, and I think going to maybe pop the sonar to see if they got anybody who dropped underneath them, and they certainly did not. So that does, I guess, beg the question, Llama, where did their opponent go?
I do not know. Could not tell you. They probably just ran off. Maybe grab the banners if they're a crypto or something like that. They could be still in the ship on the bottom, because I don't think anybody checked that because of the Watson fences. But can't really fight a 1v3, so pretty smart of that other team.
2 squad left game in the top left-hand corner. That's OHP. Again, these 2 teams kind of the top of our leaderboard, Zito, Simp, and OHP. So both of them relatively in sync here. It'll be interesting to see which of them finishes this match first, because it will give them just a little bit of an edge in time. We are coming up to the final sort of 15 minutes here of the tournament. So plenty of things to watch. That ring is getting awfully tight there in the top left-hand corner, though, for OHP, which is exactly what they would want at this time. And we'll see if they can find somebody and finish him off, taking that balloon basically on a scouting mission here. And he'll leave some contrails as well for his opponents if they so choose to pursue. Coming down over here towards the lab area, looking around, still hasn't found anyone. And eventually somebody's going to have to show up and fight him. It's only a matter of time. And you could really say the same on the other hand side. Oh, they've got one on the zip line. Couple of shots coming in. R99 comes out, but somebody's coming at him from the backside as well. So a little bit of distraction on their end. Come around, that Pathfinder absolutely melted by the R99. So much for the ambush strat there. And they'll come outside. Lifeline's waiting for him. And it's a championship. Easy as you please. Cleanly done. OHP just finessing their way into another first place. And a championship immediately on the other hand side as well, as Zito picking one up there as well. So these two teams staying pretty much neck and neck here towards the top of our leaderboard.
They're the top two teams too, so this is going to be down to the wire here.
First place with 30 kills, first place with 28 kills. So really very close stuff, and it might just be that is enough for Zito to slightly pull ahead. All credit as well, we should say Zito I think was back by about 8 points, so they might just have tied it up right there. Assassination Nation I think is currently sitting in first place, but Assassination Nation I think kind of out of sync with the two of them, and that could be a little bit telling as time comes through.
Assassination again. Assassins Nation, I think.
Assassins Nation. I'm not sure which. It's a play on words.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll see now. OHP wasting basically no time queuing back in. Neither of these teams actually really hesitating to queue back in. Assassins already on the hunt, though. They're heading in towards their mid game. It's funny how the two bottom teams and the two top teams are basically in sync with one another.
Yeah, just barely off. I don't think they're in the same game, but they're on like the same crypto screen, the same everything. Not sadly in the same game though. That'd be awesome to see. Down to the wire, both of them in the same game, fighting for that first. That'd be
That is really what it is. Kind of a slip up from either of them, though. At this time, would very much send them off over the edge. And no, I do not believe that they are in the same game because they are both the championship squads in their respective matches. But that would have been that would have been something if they had queued in together. Would have appreciated that.
So close. It's like almost the same drop shift too.
Yeah, it's very funny how similar they are at the moment. Okay, it's a perfect test environment here for them to finish this off to the race portion of this invitational qualifier, and it'll be interesting to see which one of them comes out on top here. It is worth pointing out here as we move into the final 15 minutes that all scores need to be verified. So really the final score that we see at the end of the invitational today is not necessarily the final score. That'll be reported a bit later on in the Discord and maybe getting a shout out on Twitter as well. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Even if the leaderboard does end up with one of them on top, we won't officially confirm it on the stream. We'll congratulate them and whatnot, but it's still subject to change.
Seen people their damage numbers, kill numbers, some games, some people double submit. There's technical errors that come with the tournament, but this happens, and if someone's in the top and has like 300 some points and we see them been playing, that we probably know they won. So but not, like you said, not confirmed here. We'll confirm it later. Discord.
Truly indeed. And we'll see it coming down, playing with a triple take up there on the high ground on the right hand side. We saw him throw out a couple of perspective shots early on, but didn't really get anyone. Just going to pop these caustic traps and try and take some of the bite out of the caustic gas before they even get started. Ow. Point blank with the triple take. Hello. Welcome to Apex.
Triple take's the best shotgun, I think.
Yeah. Certainly looked that way right there. I tell you what, just kind of peeked around the corner and just blasted him. Hostile still detected in the area, so somebody's still hiding over there, and they're feeling probably a little bit uncomfortable as the rest of the team begins to move forward and have a looky-loo at where they might be. They finished him. I think they just finished him off. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure they just finished him off. And the triple take there still going to be the weapon du jour for Lars, who in a lot of ways seems to revel in running the guns that are not exactly the meta.
I think he's we saw it definitely with that L-Star, but triple take, I don't know, maybe not the best, but it does, like we saw, have some close range ability, even if that burst damage close range is definitely deadly. So gotta see where he goes with it.
Worth pointing out, Lars did run that L-Star Mozambique, I think, all the way to the end. On that last one, he did not give up on it, and they walked away with the W. So we joke here, but if it works, well, it works.
It's like OHP and Zito both gonna be like almost still in the same type of game. 11 squads left, 4 OHP and 12 squads left for Zito Sim. Very, very similar games. We got to see one of them. If one of them slips up here, they probably lose it. So bottom teams, it looks like 301, about 5 squads left. But that's not the greatest for them. With only 12 minutes left, they probably won't be able to get another full match in.
No, probably not. They are certainly running out of time. Unless these games end very quickly, in which, I mean, we have seen that happen before, and that was a weird little bit of kills there that went on that right-hand side screen, but these two teams absolutely neck and neck here. And, we were talking earlier, I was talking earlier about how Assassin Nation was kind of out of sync with them, and that actually looking like it might benefit Assassination right here, because if they can finish this game quickly enough, they have 5 squads left in their match. If they can finish it quickly enough, they could get a re-queue in here and maybe play out a full game with the grace period included, even though they would be right down to the wire, and that one game might be enough to set them ahead.
That's true, and we've seen some other of them, like the games that you thought didn't matter now come back to bite you, where that time where you spent, like, I don't know, 10 minutes and didn't get it in a good match, it could throw off everything and could really cost you the whole tournament.
Yeah, we are definitely in that stage. That is very true. Just kind of keeping an eye on them here. 4 squads left. Now, interestingly enough, I was just saying that about Assassination, but both OHP and Zito Simp are not far behind in terms of squads. They are nipping at the heels right now.
And I mean, it is Kings Canyon, but there is still a possibility of teams just hiding out. So, and it looks like actually one's down for OHP. So, trouble coming towards them, and Bangalore and Octane have to finish it off. Bangalore actually super far. I don't know how the Wraith got that far away. Maybe Jump Tower?
Maybe. I mean, let's be honest here. Llama. If they burn out at this stage, Llama, they are done. Like, if you get a bad game here, I think they're they're not taking first place. That's for sure. Let's just put it at that. The res coming in quick, fast. That's perfectly fine. It gets them back in on the action. Meanwhile, on the other side, a bit of a gunfight around the tower, just trying to close things out. 3 squads left on the bottom left-hand corner for Assassination. They want to finish this game as quickly as possible so they can re-queue back in. Bangalore under a lot of pressure. OHP Blay having to fall back there just a little bit. Oh, he goes up on the high ground. They get eliminated. Oh, no. Almost simultaneously, and that is disastrous there for OHP.
Wow.
That is just the worst thing that could have happened.
Team just pushed him so hard. 7 kills, 8th place. Not the game they wanted right there.
No, not at all. And they have about 9 minutes with that 5-minute grace period, so a total of maybe just under 14 minutes to queue in again and see what they can muster. But their direct competitors, Zito Simp, are still up and running, and there's no sign of them stopping here. As you see the Bloodhound Lars with those sights up, getting a knock there quick. And that might have just sentenced OHP to at least a 3rd place finish here, especially considering that Assassination is doing really, really strong in their match as well.
Yeah. They're definitely doing well. and they really need OHP needs Zitosim to slip up here, or it's probably over. And it looks like Zitosim is not going to slow down. They're not going to slip up, at least in this fight. They already have one down.
Yeah, and you can see kind of the at the end there, you can see the kind of consternation on Blaze's face. He realized that was a unfortunate exit and maybe a little bit of a matter of positioning as well. You did say, Donut, it was impressive how far apart they were. Meanwhile, Lars on the top right is just killing up a frenzy, really actually is using that triple take like the best shotgun in the game, getting big, meaty hits there on a Wraith and the other one as well. And we'll see now they're closing down. 5 squads left in their game, 3 squads left, and they might even, for all intents and purposes, they might even lap Assassination here if they're not lucky or not looking. Assassination trying to finish it off. It got like 1 squad here, a bit of a mess. All those Mirage clones out, and they're just trying to finish this one off. 11 kills in the bank there and 3 squads left, so a very solid performance from Assassination. And if they can finish this quickly and re-queue, they're basically securing, I think, themselves a first place finish, especially with OHP's last game.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is 301 is on a tear right now too, with 10 kills. So with that bad game, OHP was a little bit far off from them, but the game they're having now, if they keep it going and get this championship, they might pass OHP if they have this game and queue in and get
okay, there's Assassination, just picks up their championship there. A bit of squeaky bum time with the Kraber there for a second, but it's enough for them to pull out the win. As it were on the back of that, and we'll see how many kills they have added to the total. And this really is going to be a neck-and-neck showdown. OHP might have fallen behind, but Assassination with 24 kills, it's not a lot of kills relatively, but it is a not insignificant amount either. There's a little bit of a contradiction for you, Llama, but it's enough to certainly keep them in the hunt. And very much in kind of position for getting a first place finish here. Meanwhile, in the top right corner, I think all eyes there on Lars and the crew over at Zitosim, because this is feeling very much like their invitational or their qualifier to lose at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, I believe they changed their name, right? Lars was on a different team the last time we saw him.
I do think they have changed their name.
Bottom right looks like 3-1, just going to take another championship. Big kills, too. So, Beast of the Hunt will be popped like candy. Oxley in the top right. He loves to keep popping that.
Does.
So, Lars.
He really does. Just, I think, honestly, just using it for scouting at that point in time, trying to see if he sees any little red dots running around anywhere. First place in 27 for 301, and that might be enough, I think, to potentially catapult them back into into third place here over OHP. Not sure if it'll be quite enough, but it's certainly in the ballpark of what they would want to see. We've got 5 minutes left until we hit the grace period, so really, realistically, the game that Lars and company are in right now is their last game. 5 hostiles detected with that ping, so they know where basically everybody is here of these final squads. So if they can just wrap this up, they might be able to queue in again and get about 10 minutes of playtime in there and see what they can do with it. But every minute they delay in finishing this off is a minutes that they don't have on the back end, and that's the kind of thing that could really frustrate them in the long run.
301 and Assassins dropping back in here. Both of them looking to. I'm thinking 301 doesn't have first place lock, but maybe they could get a third or a second if this last game is really well, because that last game was pretty nice and it might be enough to pass OHP.
Yeah, I'm just checking the leaderboards occasionally, trying to see if those last games were kind of roped in there. And we'll see those score updates. I think maybe Assassination has reported their game, though I'm not entirely sure. Currently, Assassination sitting at 415, OHP at 407, Zitosim at 393. 301 is back at 325. They have to pass Fission, Reapers United, and VM to secure a fourth place finish. But considering that was a really strong game that they just put in, they might very well be able to do that. Meanwhile, in the top right corner, they will get the championship. That's a huge match there coming out from the folks at Zito Simp, and we'll see just how many kills they manage to rack up on that one.
A very, very well played. They did have one of them go down, but a win is a win, and we'll have to see. Looks like 21, not the most.
Yeah, that could hurt him. That might actually prevent him from catching up with Assassination. Assassination 2 is gonna get another game logged in here, assuming this doesn't all go belly up for them right now. They do have a teammate down. They have still managed to get a couple of kills. They will res the Wraith back in. Definitely in that bottom left-hand corner. It looked like it could be dangerous, but still, don't tell that to Assassination. 3 minutes left until we hit the grace period. They're gonna queue back in and see what they can do with the time they have remaining, which seems to be kind of the vibe that we're getting from all our teams here, if we're being honest, Llama. Nobody really wanting to give this one up.
No one feels secured. One of the tournaments we had somebody just not their last game. They had an opportunity to play the last game, and they just didn't, and they lost their first place because of it, I believe. So every match does matter, and I don't think these teams should give up, even if they think they're far enough ahead.
Yeah, we have seen it. I will admit, we have seen it once or twice before in situations which a team really has just run away with the whole thing. They have sometimes just kind of given up at the mark, but none of these teams doing it. So currently, Zito Simp sitting in first place with 429 points. Assassination Nation immediately behind them, or Assassination immediately behind them with 415. OHP Gaming sitting at 407. 301 at 369. So 301 have theoretically secured themselves a fourth place slot here. Don't think they're going to be able to catch up to a top 3 position, but definitely beating out Fish and Reaper and VM, which they needed to do to hold on there to get that top 4 finish, with Fish and Esports rounding out the top 5 there with 344 points. So we'll see what they can muster in these final games, and taking it down to the wire here, Donut, really, or Llama, really, at the end.
We are 1 minute until our grace period, so now if they die here in one of these fights, then it is probably over for them. So the grace period is starting right now. 5 minutes, and these guys have to either have grenades or take a lava bath like Lars loves to.
Yeah, very true. Unfortunately, no lava to be found on Kings Canyon, but there is a conveniently large ocean one could jump into if matters do turn in that direction. Really, we need to see these teams finish off, and all credit to them, but my lord, OHP is trying to blaze one out right now. Just get this game in the books. They've got 6 squads left here, and they're kind of running a trail of destruction around Kings Canyon, trying to get the closeout here. Shots coming in, not quite enough. The drone EMP gonna come out, and that'll slow the roll just a little bit. Forces him back, forces him to use that Phoenix kit as well to get the shield back, but they can still do this. This is actually quite truly winnable here, as one of their teammates does get a knockdown there. They'll get another one as well, but now they're getting heavy shots on the front side. Bangalore in a lot of danger. They've lost the Wraith. That's not good, as the smoke comes out, and they're just going to use that brief bit of cover there. They're starting to res the Wraith. Oh no! They've lost Octane there as well, and this could be curtains here for OHP. The Wraith does get off the portal there at the end, but Blay, just trying to fight out on that Bangalore, has to hold up as best they can. Forced out of cover now by the ring that's coming in. Doesn't have a lot of health to operate with.
Wow.
Might have just clutched that out.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, they're really stuck in the ring here, Llama. That's not particularly great. They're not too far from the outside edge, but still not ideal.
And it looks like actually bottom right, 301 squad eliminated, 9th place, 9 kills, and that will be the end of their qualifier here today. 3 teams left on our board. OHP is still outside of the ring. Yeah, it hurts a little bit.
It does hurt, but I mean, again, they're in a position where they could win this. 4 minutes left. Not a great situation in the top right-hand corner for Lars. They've had a really bad, I think, a really bad drop here. One of the respawn beacons has timed out for them, and this Pathfinder got a lot of pressure, multiple sides, wings it over the top, just trying to get away. Tries to use the shield cell here as well, just playing into the cover. He might recover the shield cell, but is he going to be able to turn around and deal with his 2 pursuers on the back side?
Where'd they go?
There's the
Found
pursuers coming in, the Havoc coming out. Great shots from the Havoc. Truly a laser right there at that moment, but he comes up on the top-hand side. Oh, no, that's a terrible exit there for the folks over at Zito Simp. And that might just have cleared the way for Assassination to hold on to that first place. All eyes on the left-hand side of the screen now here, ladies and gentlemen, because really, it's going to be Assassination and OHP racing this out. 3 minutes left in the grace period. They have to end and put in the counter. I think they pretty much have secured first and second place there. OHP Gaming, as long as they get this game recorded, should be able to push into second place, but now it's which one of them will hold out in the end, and it's a fine line here at the end, Donut. They really cannot mess this one up. Speaking of messing things up, though, it's a really bad situation for Assassination. They've got one down. They need a banner recovery here as well. The Mastiff won't close it out. Assassination squad eliminated.
Ouch. 11 kills, though. 6th place.
Not enough. Not enough, I think, to hold off OHP now. If they can get this game in the books, and I think they might just die.
Oh, that's sad. But, I mean, they got to get it in. Maybe they're taking first with it.
It really depends on how many kills they have. I mean, we see 7 on the board here for Blay, and that's not bad at all. I mean, they're in the top 3 too, so they'll get placements here no matter what happens. It does look like he's just going to sit this one out, and I'm curious to see how many points they have in the long run here. Blay taking those hits should go down eventually. Yeah, he'll die here as well, and we'll see how many points they come. 3rd place and 19 kills. That might actually be enough to catapult OHP into 1st place.
Ow. We're down by 22 points, I'm being told. So I think that's enough. I think they just took first.
Yeah, not good at math, so I can't tell you, but they might just have taken number 1 there. OHP jumping into first, possibly jumping into first at the last second there on the back of that game. And we'll see what we can get as we look at that leaderboard. Zito Simp currently sitting at 434 on my screen. Not sure exactly. I'm just kind of constantly hitting the refresh button because I do want to know what happened here on the back end.
Yep. I'm up the leaderboard here.
The leaderboard's refreshing on your screen as well, ladies and gentlemen. Click, 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 click. Trying to keep it in. Curse these load times. Oh wow, Zito Simp wins it by 1 point. Oh my lord. It's the damage difference coming in there, and you'll see it, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as this leaderboard loads in on your screen, assuming it does ever load, assuming Donut's internet hasn't given up the ghost here at the last second. Zito Simp looks like they're sitting at 434 here, Llama. OHP Gaming at 433.
Wow, 1 point. That is crazy. Oh, maybe they shouldn't have died.
Honestly, like, we can sit here, I guess, and we can, dissect that one and say that they shouldn't have died, and maybe somebody's math was off. And I mean, you're looking at those point totals, and you do feel like they were so close there. And oh no, wait, OHP Gaming has logged their final game. There we go. Woo!
Have the final game in there, so
yes, they didn't have the final game logged because they've logged their final game, and what looked like it could have been utter tragedy there, Llama has turned into elation for OHP Gaming, who have swung their way into first place. 460 points coming in. I don't know if they got 53 points in that last game. They certainly got a lot of points. Again, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, all scores are subject to revision. Everything will be verified and and announced in the Discord later on, but doubtless a close finish there between OHP, Zito Simp, and Assassination.
Reapers United, BM Esports, 301, all very much in the hunt there at the end as well. But the leaderboard you are looking at currently on the stream is the most up-to-date one that we have. OHP coming in with 460 points, with Zito coming in a close second. The points maybe don't indicate just how close it was, but 434 there by Zito coming in on the back end, and then Assassination Nation holding in on the back end. But I think that about wraps it up here for us, Llama. Until the scores are announced later in the day, there's not a lot more we can really report.
I gotta say though, Zito did have, it looks like, the most first place finishes with 11, which is a lot for 16 games. That's a really, really good win rate. Really big congratulations to them. Big thanks to our sponsor 301 for providing the prize pool for these two qualifiers and the Invitational coming up.
Indeed. Well, that about does it here, ladies and gentlemen, for this qualifier in the Apex Kill Race. All building up to, as Llama said, an invitational for $2,000 sponsored by 301 Gaming. Our next qualifier, same format, will be next Sunday right here on the CGL. But from all of us here at CGL, I am Corbec, joined by Llama. Thank you so much to Donut for handling our production. Thank you so much to Lawrence and the crew on the back end handling the tournament administration. And thank you very much to all of you for joining us here on this fine Sunday to watch some Apex action. From all of us here at the CGL, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week.